Hey, I just got back from lunch. Did you finish that report yet?
Well, not exactly. Still working on it. I'm not finished just yet. I got a little sidetracked, but I will get them to you first thing this afternoon.
It is first thing this afternoon.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I mean, I am working on
But
it. I'll have.
what do you mean that the report isn't finished yet?
I'm still in the process of working on it. I've just been a little distracted.
Distracted. Our meeting starts in an hour.
I can have it.
No. What were you doing? Were you listening to another hunting podcast again? I swear, I give the staff in this office the freedom to do whatever they want to do as long as they meet a deadline. That is the first bullet underneath your job description. Pays attention to detail and deadlines. And deadlines. Dude, are you even listening to me right now?
Welcome to episode 181 of the Whitetail Distraction Podcast. My name's Austin, and joining me in the pod port, Charles Hedlund. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. What's happening?
Oh, there's fireworks exploding outside.
Yeah, there's a couple of sticks of dynamite. No big deal.
It's all good. So if you hear some background noise, that's what it is.
It is. Today's the 5th?
It's the 5th, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be going on until, like the 25th.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's been happening since about June 1st.
That's right.
So
That is correct.
I hate people.
Yeah.
I can understand tonight, though. It did rain last night.
It did.
Some people maybe didn't get all their fireworks off. Whatever. Let them go. Let them have fun.
It's going to be fine.
Yesterday was nuts, dude. Nuts. Did you go to any fireworks shows yet with the kids?
We went to Westminster on Thursday.
I was at Westminster.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, you should have sat with us.
I didn't know you were there.
I didn't know you were there.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Where'd you sit?
On
the big hill? The main hill?
On the big main hill, but like medium way up.
Okay, so
I thought the show was over like 3 times.
Oh, I know. It kept pausing.
And then it was another grand finale, and then it paused.
Yeah.
And there was another I packed up like 3 times.
We were on the other side of the amphitheater.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, there's no one over there, and the fireworks were right in front of us. It was
Beautiful.
gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
That's awesome.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
I thought so. I mean, there was this couple delays that were weird.
That's
but
all right.
Overall, I mean, maybe they were just trying to lengthen it out.
I don't know what they were doing. It was definitely strange.
Yeah, I thought for a second there someone was going to get caught on fire with a couple of them ones dropping down into the pond.
Dude, those ones that like stream down.
Uh-huh.
Dude, stream down forever, and I was like, we're going to light up somewhere.
There was a couple little kids down below us catching some freaking tank bass.
Were they?
Dude, they had like an assembly line going. There was 3 little kids, and none of them could have been over 5 years old. Like, I think the oldest one was like maybe 5, and he had the big rod. Okay,
Yeah.
So the other 2 had little rods. They were catching these little bluegill off the bank, and when they would catch the bluegill, they'd hand it to their brother, and he had a big hook on. He would hook the bluegill
That's
and
the way to
cast
do
it
it.
out, and he caught 2 like pretty nice bass out in front. The first one was probably like a 15-incher, good bass.
That's a mondo when you're that young.
Right. Well, the second one was like maybe one of the biggest bass I've ever seen caught there, like close to a 17, 18-inch bass. Like, this thing was beefy, and he brings this one in because dude, should have seen the bluegill he had on. The bluegill was like that big.
That was a good one.
And that thing frickin' came in and destroyed it, and he catches this big old bass, and all these people are clapping. I think I sent you the video, Booher. Well, by the way, Booher's here. Hi, Booher.
So I was going to do something different, but that's
slow
okay.
burning
My
me, but
bad.
that's fine.
That's
Here you
my
go,
bad.
buddy. Here's your intro.
Can't believe it. If it isn't Mike Honcho himself, Jake and
Jeeves,
buddy.
fetch me the pimp cannon.
He's here. He is here. Good
And
intro.
by pimp cannon, I mean the whiskey.
The whiskey.
I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, so I sent the video, I think, to the group with him. Literally, all these people start clapping, like cheering for his kid, and I just started booing him.
Oh,
He
no.
said, throw that fish back. Throw it back.
People
Boo that man.
Dude, everybody was like looking at me real funny and stuff, and here I am, like Phil laughing, booing at this kid. Oh, I felt like such an idiot, but I loved it. It is what it is. He was catching my fish.
That's okay.
He's kind of pissed off.
Oh, they're your fish now? They're not Sabelli's?
Yeah, well, I catch more than
You
him.
declared like manifest destiny there like 5
He's not
years
even
ago.
allowed to fish there. It's
Technically.
my pond.
He's
I'm
not an
allowed to fish
alumni.
there.
Where?
Westminster.
Oh,
I'm an alumni.
you are an alumni.
I'm paying to fish
Yeah,
there
he's not Amish
still
either.
today.
Oh, that's
Right.
true.
Mhm.
You know, they weren't supposed to still go through the campus. The Amish still do.
Oh, for sure. They're the worst.
They are.
Oh, I just park like by the freaking track.
The backside?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I do that.
They
all the
don't
time.
really
I just take
regulate
my
it.
kids.
Yeah, they don't regulate
And I
it.
just catch a bunch of bluegills.
No.
It's supposed to be for student and alumni only, but
Yeah, whatever.
do you think anybody actually listens to that?
I'm an alumni.
I got pulled over today, actually.
Did you really?
For pulling in the wrong direction, apparently making an illegal turn into the parking lot of Sheets.
Which sheets?
Slippery Rock.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, there's no signs there. Like I'm
Which
coming
way did you go in?
I was coming in, so maybe you know that the main four-way if you're coming in from town 108 and
Yeah.
you're looking at Sheets. I was coming in from the left to right into that main four-way.
Yeah.
I was coming from Giz's house. She lives over there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull left into the Sheets parking lot, and the only turn in there is an arrow coming out my way and an arrow going in from like the other direction. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, looking all over. I don't see any signs. Nothing says I can't make this turn. So I turned in. We parked. Dean and I are having a conversation. Jump out of the car, and I look, and there's a cop car blocking me in with the lights on. I'm like, what the hell? And this dude's like, can you stop? Can you step back into your car for a second, please? I'm like,
I didn't even know you were there.
yeah. I was like, I
mean,
guess.
I don't mess around with Slippery Rock, man. The most recent time I was legally detained by an officer was in Slippery Rock.
I mean, they didn't give me a ticket or anything.
Did he search your car?
No.
Did he find your gun that shoots drugs?
He didn't find.
Yeah.
They were in my ass.
The 27 automatic clipazines.
No, they were in my ass. He didn't find
Not
those.
a boy.
Yeah, I come prepared. You never know when you. I have no idea where this dude came from. Honest to God, I didn't. I don't know if he was coming this way and he saw me make
He
that
had
turn
to have. Yeah.
or what. But like you could see, like, I mean, it was obvious. People have done that turn 1,000
Oh,
times.
for sure. He was
Like
looking for
it's
trouble.
all flattened out there. There's nothing in my way to tell, and there's no sign. So he tells me that, and I'm parked where I can see that where I just pulled, and I turned around and looked past him, and I'm like, "There's a sign over there." He's like, "Yeah, there's a do not enter and a no turn left sign over there. You know, there's a couple different signs that tell you not to turn there." And I was like, "Okay." I gave him all my stuff, and he came back. He's like, "I'm not going to cite you or anything. You know, you should pay a little bit more attention when you're in town." I'm like, "Okay, man, cool."
Whoa.
Yeah. And then so I went out that way, and I was like, I got to find these fucking signs. Like, I got to see if there's an actual sign. There's one sign that says do not enter about 20 feet before the turn. But, dude, it's literally behind another Sheets sign. Like, there's a sign here. The sign's behind it, and it's in a tree.
Slippery
There's a
Rock's
tree
terrible.
growing up in the middle of it all.
It's in a tree.
Slippery Rock's terrible.
I'm like, that's what he wanted me to see 20 feet before my turn? Like, the only reason we went there is because Dean had to pee. I'm like, so now you just made a pregnant lady get back in the car who has to pee.
Yeah, really.
Like, dude, come on. And then, so I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm like, dude, that's the only sign. And you expect people to see that. Like, why don't you have one at the actual turn instead of, 20
Why
yards
would we
up
do that?
in a tree?
Yeah.
Literally in a tree. I should have taken a picture of it. That's probably why he let me go.
Just put one in. You going upper decky where grandma keeps the oatmeal cookies?
I threw an upper decky in there too. Little Zimbabwe.
Oh, man. You guys
Forgive
can
me,
still
Father,
get
for I've
those?
zinned.
You still get your Zins?
No, I don't zen anymore. I zen for a minute, and they were a little too wicked for me, so I went back to old reliable.
There you go.
What you got there?
Some
Snooze.
school snussers.
Oh, the snush.
No, I never tried. I was doing rogues for a while there.
I
And
don't
they
really
were
like the Rogue that
they were like
much.
candy, dude.
Hmm.
A 6 milligram rogue though, and a 6 milligram zen, not the same.
Totally different.
Built
Not
different.
the same. Dude, I chewed Copenhagen for like 15 years. Put a zen in, it's like you're 14 again. And I'm not even kidding you, dude. I put one in, I go, there's no way.
I don't know. I actually tried one of them one time because I didn't hear what this guy actually asked me, and he apparently asked me if I wanted his in. I had no clue. I was like, "Yeah, man." Just didn't hear a fucking word
Yeah.
he said, and he pulls it out, and I was like, "Shit, I feel like an asshole."
You should
now,
have been like,
'cause
"Oh no! I thought you said
you want to
something
touch my
else."
butthole or something." Yeah, I know. I put it in, and dude, it burned the fuck. I've never chewed in my life.
Oh my
That's
god.
why.
I have no idea if
That's
it
the
bad
worst you
move.
could have
Yeah.
put in.
I don't know how strong it was, dude. It made me all kinds of dizzy. My lip was
Oh,
burning.
my God,
I was like,
dude.
"Get this fucking thing out of here!" How do you people do this?
This Looney Tune I work with chews the freaking 8 milligram ons.
The ons.
Mm,
Dude.
that's brutal.
He's like, yeah, where I put it in, it sweats on the outside of my lip. I'm like,
They get like cold in your mouth.
dude,
Here's
there's
your side.
I was like, all right, man, give me one. Right.
Oh no.
And I put it in. And like I said, I've been chewing since I was like 13, 14, something like that. Put that thing in and I'm like, yeah. Like, dude, it was like maybe 2 minutes. And I'm like, it's not an exaggeration. Maybe 120 seconds. And I'm like, Yeah, this ain't gonna make it much longer, dude. Like I'm like sweating. Like this ain't good, dude.
Oh man.
So yeah, I don't mess around with that anymore.
Yeah. I don't blame you one bit.
So welcome to this hunting podcast. By the way.
Yeah.
We started off with all kinds of weird
Traffic
shit.
court and
Yeah.
tobacco.
It's all related, right?
Yeah, we're all here, baby.
It's all taxed at the end of the day.
It's
That's right.
good. It's
Yeah.
good.
All right, well, we'll get into it then. Let's take care of a little quick business,
Take care of a little bit of quick business.
and
real
we'll
quick.
talk some BS stuff
Yeah.
for show. All right,
show.
we got scree gear.
Scree gear. It's been hot out, man.
Mm-hmm.
Figured we'd focus on a little bit of merino wool,
Good
that
call.
moisture wicking, going with the 150 wool quarter zip. Man.
You know it's my favorite.
It's so
why
good.
Is that why you picked it?
I love it too.
It's my absolute favorite.
I
The
love
quarter
it too.
zip specifically.
Yeah, I like the crew neck, but the quarter zip's where it's at. I like
Yeah.
having that extra vent, just like zzz.
Just have it unzipped the whole time.
Yeah, dude.
It makes a huge difference.
It really does.
Huge difference. I am big fan of it. And right now, you join the Hunt Club, you can get it for $89 for a top.
Pretty good deal.
That's a dang good deal.
I
Looks
would
like
agree.
Looks like they might be out of the 2X in that Summit color though. What do they got in the Solace?
In the Solace, they're
Oh, we're good.
good to go.
You
They're
can
only
get the
sold out in the
Solace.
2X in the Summit.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
They'll be
you're
back
good.
in stock in no time.
Yeah, absolutely.
They probably got bought out for or like turkey season and
That's
you know.
probably it. Yeah,
early season hunting kind of stuff.
I'm with you, man.
All right.
Always remember, you can use code WDP20 for 20% off your first purchase.
There you go. Oh, they're also doing we're going to have a little skit come out here on Instagram, but they're doing the Make Camo Great Again
Yeah, the campaign
initiative, if you will. Campaign. I
Yeah.
like that campaign.
I got
Sounds
some
right.
stuff I want to show you with it too.
Yeah, we're going to do that here
Mhm.
right quick, but make sure you go check that out. You can win some really cool stuff. Go find their Instagram. We just reposted it the other day.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
All right. VIP Archery.
The Commander.
Have you used the Commander
I
yet?
haven't, man.
Oh, dog.
I'm so stuck on the combat vet. I still have a couple of old regular OG veterans.
get
but
that.
Same.
I get that. I get that. You shoot a 125 though. Too,
I shoot a
huh?
125, yeah. But that
Okay.
Commander's nasty, man. That blade?
If that 125 ever comes back in, I would suggest you pick a few of those up.
Yeah, I might
Yeah.
have to.
That
They're pretty
broadhead
gnarly.
is sick. Have you seen that broadhead yet, Booher?
The 3-blade?
Yeah.
Yes, it's whack.
It's freaking
wacky doodle dang do.
sick.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I blasted some deer with that last year, man.
I do want to experiment with the 125.
Yeah.
I was shooting the 125 out of my old bow.
Mhm.
They're mean, dude.
I want to give it another honest try out of my new bow.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
I mean, you picked up a lot of speed with that new.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Silly speed.
Yeah, we can definitely get into that
Yeah.
at some point too. But last but not least,
Oh, I wanted to
Oh,
say
I'm
one
sorry,
other
go
thing
ahead.
about the Commander real
Yeah.
quick. I haven't personally used one, but you have. And if
Mhm.
it comes from VIP Archery,
Mm-hmm.
you just know you're going to have Freddy Krueger blood.
I fucking
God, you had that in the back pocket.
I can't help it,
the
dude.
bad part is he got me. I don't know
gotcha.
how but he got me.
I got him.
Like,
Hey, you're talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. Do it again. I'll stab you in the face with
The Commander.
soldering iron.
with a commander. Did you Zen pouch just or whatever it is just break? Oh, did you get the moth?
Got him. You got to eat him now.
Don't eat them.
It's like the
Don't
worm in
eat 'em.
tequila. Don't eat
Don't eat them.
Don't eat
Please
'em.
don't eat them.
Don't eat 'em.
I'm gonna puke.
Don't eat 'em. You don't have to.
I'm gonna
want to.
throw up.
Still alive. It's definitely still alive. It was.
Dude, was he in your
I
drink?
got a wing.
Yeah.
I got a wing on my.
You
Yeah.
definitely de-winged them in your mouth.
I was wondering. I haven't seen him flying for a second.
He hasn't been flying the whole time, and you said if he flew in your drink, you would
I'm gonna do it.
drink him.
I'll do it.
No, that was
I'll do it.
enough.
I took my chew out just to do it.
I think that was enough.
That was.
I think
It's
that
not.
was
It's not small.
Dude, when you pulled it out, I honestly thought your pouch
No, it
broke
was.
in
That's what I
half.
thought it
Like,
was.
I'm like, dude, your pouch?
Dude, that thing was like a pterodactyl flying around in here.
Yeah.
That was a serious.
That's what happens when you
Size
want the
moth.
ambiance of the 4th of July and a little
Ugh,
bit of
so
cool air
gross.
blowing in here. Pterodactyls come
Don't do
flying
it.
in.
It's disgusting.
No, don't do it.
Disgusting.
Hold on. Record it if he's going to do it.
I don't
Record it.
wanna, Okay, if he's
How am I
gonna,
gonna do it?
I mean, only if
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna do it.
We
I'm
just
gonna
say
do
we
it.
have to.
I talk too much shit. I got to do it
Okay, well,
You don't have to.
now. I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna post it to Marco Polo. So if you're part of our Patreon and you're listening to this
Still
right
alive,
now,
by the way.
we're live,
Thing is-
and Booher is
Savage.
about to eat the moth that went into his drink, and it looks like he's gonna wash it down with some lime. What
Bud
do you got
Light
there?
Lime.
Bud Light Lime. Let's get in tight. Oh, he's put it in the drink.
He's just going to hammer that drink. It's going to disappear.
This is a bold move, Cotton.
God,
Let's
here
see
we
if
go.
it pays off.
God, here we go.
Why? Why?
Kid is a savage.
Yeah, I got it. Oh my God.
Don't puke in here, Seth.
Got it. Got it. Anyway.
Oh, that's gross.
Yep. Put my lippy back in.
You disgust me.
I talk too much shit. I back it up, Chuck.
I wouldn't.
You know who else backs up their stuff? Back 40 Seat Co. with Uncle Al's Fall Blend.
Hey, I have some of that.
Hell
There
yeah,
you
brother.
Blend of hybrid brassica, kale, rape, radish, purple top turnip.
Hell yeah.
And
Dude,
look at that planting
Mhm.
dates.
I got it for that reason because we have not planted it yet. July through September.
Beauty.
So we are there. I'll probably put that in if we do, because the problem is right now we're trying to kill out a bunch of grasses that are in the plot that showed up.
Are we in
And-
Baghdad right now?
Yeah. We might be actually. It's reconnecting. So they'll have to see that later when I get better service. But I
They're
haven't
getting after it, boy.
I haven't planted that yet. It's still at my house.
You're going to.
Yeah, I mean it's July 5th. It's suggested planting date July through September, so I'm not late.
It's
I'm
gonna be
early.
beautiful. Minimal ground preparation on that too.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
We take Sam's aerating machine down there and just run it through and do a quick aerate on the ground just to pull it up off the ground, pull the
yeah.
cores. Dude, I mean you can't get any better soil
Do you
contact
drag it
than
after
that.
that?
We don't.
This is
The
one of
best
the
way.
wettest
I don't have
summers
it. What should we
/
drag?
springs we've had in a
You have a
while.
4-wheeler or something?
Yeah, but what am I going to drag?
Make a drag mat.
With a gate or something. We
Could do
probably
that.
could.
Chain link
I've
fence.
done
Piece
that
of chain link
link,
fence.
yeah.
Perfect.
He
Yeah.
probably has something laying
Breaks
around.
up the cores and it'll drag it. Yep.
Yeah.
So we used to do on the golf course.
Oh.
Ours were heavy duty gauge plastic,
Mm-hmm.
but a chain link fence, like Booher just said, will work great.
Is that just to help with
Breaks up the cores, it drags the seed into the holes.
Okay,
Pulls out some rocks, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That way you don't have to worry about it getting in, actually dropping into the hole. You just
That's
drag it and they
Yep.
take where they take.
Exactly.
It's a good idea. I didn't think of that
Yeah.
because we usually just do it. Like I said, we'll tear up the ground the whole to go both ways even.
Hook
Just-
that bad boy up to your e-bike, dude, and just
Yeah, that'd be
Oh, yeah.
sick.
There you go.
Actually, I
Put
could
her four
easily
low.
do that. Yeah, could easily too low because it's
Same,
too.
same, right?
too low.
That would be a good idea.
There you go.
That's what we got to do then.
That's it for the business.
Yeah, you should see our clover in that plot though.
Looking gnarly.
beautiful.
Is it gnarly, Charlie?
dude? It is the best it's ever looked. I'll tell you that.
Nothing
This
wrong
is
with
our
that.
third year. So
Yeah.
I think we finally got it right, dude. They're
If
not.
you don't close that door, it's going to be horrible to edit
Oh
this.
yeah, I'm gonna have
Wow.
to. Oh, well, we
we
can
ain't
hook up the
editing it
background noise.
out, so it's
LOL.
I'm gonna
happening.
close the door. I'm gonna pause. Stand
LOL.
by. And we're back.
They were not holding up at all.
They still aren't.
You can't hold anything back.
There you go.
All right,
Oh.
Mister. What do you got? What do you
I don't know.
got
I was gonna look for one real quick.
there? Mr. Soundboard.
Yeah.
Chuck Gumbel over here.
Chuck Gumbo.
Chuck Gumbel.
What's Gumble?
Greg Gumbel from freaking
Oh.
Waterboy. Because he didn't hold anything back.
I
Douchebag.
didn't realize you were
Wow.
using his name and my name in one.
Wow.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
That's not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
I actually had a Mountain Dew today.
Wow.
Yep. True story.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We're here. Finally. Booher's back. In person.
No, I'm sorry, everybody.
When's the last time
It's
you've
gonna be
been
okay.
here in person?
It's been a few years.
Since
no
the
doubt.
Rack Shack?
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
the Rack
I
Shack.
remember.
Definitely Rack Shack.
I remember.
Rack
It was,
Shack's still around. It's just not operational currently.
It's a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
I think the last time I was there, Jeff was with me, if I'm not mistaken.
I bet you're right.
Really?
I think, yeah, he was
He
Yeah.
was hammered drunk.
shocking.
Yeah.
Nodding off as he tends to do.
That was more of an Outcast thing, I think,
No, that.
for Jeff.
Oh yeah, for
The
sure.
nodding off, falling asleep.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
He was
yeah, yeah.
rough. He was rough here. What were we talking? We were talking about Oklahoma, I think, weren't we?
Maybe.
It was that long ago, for sure.
I think it was episode 69, wasn't it?
Episode 69 was just me.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Well, I
it
don't
was.
know
I don't
now.
know. Maybe it was.
I don't know
It's
now.
been. I mean, what are we on right now?
181.
180.
Yeah, so it's been a minute. It's been a couple
minute,
years
yeah.
for
I
sure.
don't think that's the last time you were on, though. Because you did that phone episode.
I did
with
call
us.
in. I did call in. Yeah, that little mini, whatever you guys are calling it, little mini.
I don't know. We had a bunch of miniseries. I don't remember which one that was.
Yeah,
we
it
did
was
the
a-
filming one with
Oh.
you too at one point.
That was the OG one, I think. That was the first
Was
one
it?
I was on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
might
think
be,
you're
yeah.
right.
So you
That was
guys got a
even
lot
longer.
of homework to go find all of Booher's episodes.
We're gonna pick your brain at some point too. We're gonna look at some camera setup.
Hell yeah, man, I'm here for that.
Time, so
I was showing him mine today.
Were you?
I was pretty pumped up about it.
Yeah. Check out a little spicy
Uh-huh.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to Kyle in our group. He was kind of asking me some questions and whatnot. So I was going all through the house and finding all my stuff. And I was like, screw it, I'm just going to put it together. So I had the little Genesis 3D printing arm.
yeah, dude.
And I bought that last year and had it all set up and ready to go for the big camera. Big camera died filming squirrel hunting, of all things.
Yeah, I wasn't there when it happened, but yeah.
Yeah, filming squirrel hunting and it died.
R.I.P. It lived a good life.
It did. It definitely did. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go full in filming with my phone and whatnot. So I have a little camera arm on there that Booher hooked me up with, sent me in the right direction. And then I have the painted arrow
Yeah, that's a sweet little setup.
magnetic
Yeah.
one, which is going to be dope. I took a bunch of, between that and the thing from Jack's Gear that I just picked up, little magnetic thing. That's
I know what
gonna,
you're talking about.
it's going to solely live on my lanyard, my his strap in front of me. And it's got a magnet on it too. So I can put my phone on there and do a front face camera of myself as like a interview, whatever.
Yeah.
Or just my phone's just right there in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm doing whatever, texting, doing whatever, it's there. I don't have to move a bunch.
Nice.
And then when I'm ready, I can just grab it from there and put it on the camera arm and
Ready to rock.
go to town on
That's
film.
awesome.
No, the cell phone game is real. Oh my, Chuck.
That moth
It's going to
was-
land in your drink next. Here it comes. It's looking for a
I think
swan
it tried to
bomb
go up my
bomb.
nose.
Now the cell phone filming games gotten pretty crazy the last couple
taken
years.
off.
Honestly, yeah. I'm still an advocate that there is a difference between
Oh,
a
for
big camera
sure.
and
Oh,
that. But
yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, the difference has been growing smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
If we're
Yeah.
being completely honest.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat, man. You have it on you already. You don't have to carry an additional piece of equipment.
Yeah.
You can
Mhm.
carry a battery pack. If your phone starts to die, you just plug it in, rock.
No, for the casual guy, solo hunting or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It's the way to go. I'll probably be doing that. I don't know what's going on with my GoPro. I think I need to find a better card for it or find my card that I have that's a better card for it because it keeps malfunctioning. It's pissing me off pretty bad.
I mean, cards go bad. That's for sure.
I don't even know if it's the card, if it's the camera. I don't know what it is.
I mean, it's a pretty good place to start if you're gonna
Yeah, probably.
really troubleshoot your
I
stuff.
used to have a good one, but then I don't know where the hell it is. I'll be honest. I've filmed things for different people and give them my cards, and then I don't know where they go. I have so many cards, but not the good. I don't know where it went.
That's what happens when you have an OnlyFans account.
Well, please subscribe, like, and subscribe to the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's purely turkey hunting content.
Yeah.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, you'd be pretty sick if you had to replace the memory cards that I use for my big camera. Those UHS 2 cards are
no.
a little retarded.
Right.
Am I allowed to say that word on here?
You can say whatever you want.
And that, I think in that
Retarded.
aspect, yeah, that was definitely acceptable.
I mean, I do photography, professionally outside of the hunting and fishing world. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you want to have not
Yeah, you gotta have
shitty
good
stuff if you're charging people money.
Right. I think I bought a bunch of cards just for trail cameras and then just tried to
Oh yeah.
universally use them across the board, and it just doesn't work
It's
out.
no bueno. You need those class 10s and stuff.
Well, they are class 10s,
Yeah, well,
but
there
they're,
you go.
I don't think all class 10s are
They're not all created equal.
No.
created equal
no.
by any means.
No.
No, if for my smaller cameras, I buy the SanDisk Extremes, the
Mhm.
black and red ones.
That's the one I'm missing.
Yeah, then my big Sony, I use the UHS 2 cards, and I use the Sony Tough cards in those. But
Those are
UHS 2
crazy,
cards
yeah.
are pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like metal housing, like they're made out of metal.
Are they really?
They're pretty
They're
wild.
they're
Yeah.
sweet.
Wow.
Super expensive. I guess worth it.
Mhm.
If you're doing what he's
Well, I
doing,
mean, you
it's
can't,
worth
you
it.
physically can't use the camera at the highest settings if
Right.
you don't have.
If you don't have the good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
Crazy to think about. That's where we're at
Yeah,
in the
and I mean-
world of camera gear.
And I mean, truthfully, my big camera is not like a brand new camera either, too. That's the crazy, but the stuff they're coming out with is so
Mhm.
wild.
Oh, it's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, that's the thing with cameras is you really want to splurge on like if you're really going in on a camera, splurge on the lenses. The
Yeah.
bodies, they replace a body every year.
Yeah.
You can buy a brand new body every year. Keeping up with that is just
Right.
like
It's like cell phones, dude.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
The lenses still work on my camera that is, however many years old, or like a brand new one, Sony E mount. So, I mean, the best advice I can give anybody that is starting out right now that is like really thinking about taking the dive, spend the money on the lens, worry about the body later. That's the best advice I could give you.
There you go.
I've thrown the idea around of getting like a low level, mid level, just like handy cam again, just to do whatever with, because I'm not anything big, But I was like, screw it, I'll just film my phone. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you told me, Booher, you were like, dude, honestly, if you're going to spend that much money, you're going to get a camera that's lesser than what you have in your phone.
For sure.
So
for sure.
Just flip that bad boy sideways.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's it.
The small, I use a Sony A6400 for any of the nerds out there listening right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's my small camera. My big camera is an A7R3. The little camera now, I mean, when I bought it new, I think the kit lens that I got with it was $1,600 or something like that. Now you can buy that body for like $800 in like decent shape.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. Do the math on it. If you want to buy a couple of used lenses and get started, it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend Sony over just about anything at this point too, for sure.
Those are mirrorless, aren't they?
Yes, those ones specifically.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Don't buy DSLR. Don't any of those people that say it's coming back. Tell them to fuck off. Just tell them to shut up.
Just shut up. Shut
The
up.
future's now, old man.
Future is now. Yeah, if we don't have flying cars by now, I don't think anything's.
Yeah, I mean,
that
even
much better.
Nikon's switching solely, like they're going all in on the Z1 or mirrorless bodies are. So, I mean, don't buy DSLR for the love of God. If you're going to be spending over $1,000, don't do that.
Yeah, honestly, if you're gonna get into it big, you gotta spend the money to it.
It's definitely a buy once, cry once.
Yeah,
for sure. But like I said, for the casual guy, most people's iPhones shoot in 4K 60 frames a second, which you can do a half decent slow mo with, and be happy with that. You know what I mean? What are you going to be taking shots of stuff that you're going to blow to make like a huge print with? Like I am probably not.
No.
But for most people, you can still get by. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's just gonna be a bunch of footage that lives on my phone, never goes anywhere anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, what is the average guy doing? You're filming a thing and putting it on Instagram. You're filming a thing, making a YouTube short. Whatever. I mean, whatever, man. It's up to it's what you want to make of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How much you want to put into it. For sure.
100%. Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because a lot of people right now, they're looking for that content. They're actually looking for like upright cell phone content for that reason, so they can post it to Instagram, they can post it to Reels. And do that kind of thing, because that's where the views are right now. And
most of the new DJI gimbals, they have a portrait mode to film like shorts, or, Instagram Reels, shit like that. You double tap the trigger and it turns the camera portrait mode just to film that. Period.
Yeah,
which is wild.
It is wild, but in all reality, that's the world we're living in right now. The content you consume.
Oh yeah, the reels and the shorts have like dominated. Just completely dominated.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, TikTok.
That's exactly why, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
Honestly, I got to be honest though. You go on YouTube and you watch the shorts. They're pretty fun. They're pretty good.
Oh yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah.
I've got lost a few times.
Yeah.
You do a little doom scrolling with a little brain rot from the side for sure.
No doubt
doom
about
scrolling.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of death scrolling. I've never heard of doom scrolling. I
Same.
think I like it better.
Dude, I got into it the one night. I was watching like CQB tactics for like 2 hours just on shorts.
Oh yeah, you can get into some weird stuff. Dude.
Oh my gosh.
Weird stuff. Yeah. Not to go down like a complete different tangent, but like I'm real into Warhammer 40K. The content on there is just like, I'm a nerd for anybody listening. By the way,
okay.
Yeah.
The stuff on there, like it's the same thing. You get lost. You get lost in the sauce.
It's like anything, man. Once you start down that rabbit hole,
oh
there ain't no coming back.
No.
Like you're gone. No. You're done. You're done, son.
In that same breath, I've this year specifically, dude, I haven't bring the camera with me. I haven't brought it once, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, like today I was out.
I've seen it. We didn't even film like TAC. We didn't do.
Nope,
that's
I didn't do
shocking.
It. Yeah, well, to be fair, TAC Kenny was supposed to come and film for us,
true.
and I just did. It was going to rain. Sure, so I was like, whatever. But no, man, this year I've just been I've been taking in. I mean, today I was out fishing for a good 8 hours. I got the kayak still in the bed of my truck in the driveway out there.
I saw that.
And,
there you go.
I took a couple pictures to bust everybody's balls, but like I've just been kind of taking it in this year. There wasn't any big trips this year. There wasn't anything. It was just a pretty average, year on the calendar. So I was just, I've been fishing with my daughter a lot.
There you
just
go.
been trying to take it in, you know what I mean? Just kind of being there instead of, worrying about, I got to get the shot. I got to put the drone up. I got to do that. And I've just been kind of chilling, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't blame you, man.
I'm guessing you're enjoying yourself a little bit more.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I stopped. I fished till whatever time it was. And when the distributor opened, I went and got a margarita slushy, went back out on the water.
Yeah.
Put a chew in, and I was just destroying fish. You know what I mean?
Did you get out with the swamp donkey yet, or what?
I did have the swamp donkey out. Jeff's son lost the flippers.
What?
So the swamp donkey's inoperable until I order another
How
pair.
did he lose the...
Have you seen his son?
Yeah, I've met his son. He knows Russian. So if he's that... Yeah.
His son's a domestic terrorist.
Taught himself
Oh, my
Russian.
goodness.
Yeah. But I just don't know how he lost the flippers. He's got little feet. That's probably why.
Well, we floated the river, and he sunk his kayak 4 times. And then we finally got
Are
down
you
to
serious?
Oh, yeah, it was hilarious.
Oh, my God.
He was just a menace. And I was in the swamp donkey, but I brought the flippers just in case. Why not? I was fishing the whole way down the river anyway. And yeah, we got down to the swimming hole. And he's like, hey, let me try the flippers. And then 20 minutes later, there's one flipper up on the thing. I call him, where's the other one? He goes, yeah, I don't know. Jeff's like, Christ. Jeff's just pissed. Listen, man, they were $30. It's not a big deal.
It's gonna
but-
be all right. Yeah.
Didn't you have 2 pair of flippers at one point too? Didn't you buy a pair and lose them, and then
Yeah, and then I bought another pair.
bought another pair?
Yeah, left them on the tailgate of my truck.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yep.
Get you every time.
It's me every time. Yep. So,
Unreal, man.
so yeah, the flippers have not been easy to hold on to. I bought at least a pair every year since I've had that thing.
Okay, well, it's just
You're
it's
on
one of those
par
things
then.
you got to expect, man. You got to
Yeah.
get new flippers every
you
year.
get flipper fun.
You're
Go
a
fund
flipper
me.
fun.
Get on the OnlyFans.
There you go.
Buy me some flippers, baby.
Buy me some flippers, baby.
Maybe set you some flippers.
Yeah, get on the Patreon there.
Give an
Look me up.
extra tier for the flippers, would you?
Yeah.
One time.
That's hilarious.
Now the swamp donkey's legit though, dude. Honestly, for the little goofy back channels and in the river, it's unbeatable in the river.
That's a little
Yeah.
it's a little Colorado boat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little horseshoe shaped. Yeah,
Yeah.
Colorado
Mhm.
tube. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
sweet,
love
man.
that thing, dude. That's the only one I could find that's set up that high.
Yeah.
Dude, it's legit. Casting it, dude, you can sit in that thing all day. No
Really?
problem. Oh yeah, it's
Oh
legit.
man, I've never sat in one. I've seen guys do it a bunch of times. I saw one guy one time was absolutely slaying smallmouth out of one dude.
Oh yeah, that's what I catch all my. Well, then the sneaky spot I haven't taken
Mhm.
anybody other than Chuck. That's the only thing you really can take back
Sneaky.
Snake it. I'm a
Yeah, you
snake
just
it.
sitting there, piss your pants all day, catch fish. It's a great time, dude.
Parasites going up your dick hole. No big
Yeah.
deal.
I forget who was talking to me about that. I think it might have been Kenny.
Yeah.
Because we had a little thing for his birthday. His wife had a little thing for him at his house, and he was like, "I don't know how you got in that thing up there, man."
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes,
Uh,
"I couldn't do it."
there's no way. There's no way I'd put even a foot in that, like a toe in there.
I ain't scared. You should know that.
You're
right
in there
now.
knee deep.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff in there that wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
I'm out.
googly moogly.
Oh yeah, there's snappers everywhere, snakes everywhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, man.
That one big old snapping turtle came up on you last year.
Yeah, that was
Right.
actually a wild story. That was in the big spot too. Like
Mhm.
the Conneaut Marsh, there's a public launch under Interstate 79. It's actually pretty wild. I've never seen anything like that other than there. But
Yeah.
you gotta you put in literally between the two overpasses, and how far do you think that is? Quarter mile? A little less.
It's a few hundred yards.
It's pretty far.
It's
pretty far.
Might be farther than I'm thinking. Even it's
About a quarter mile, if I had to
it's a-
guess.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So
maybe.
I mean,
It's a paddle to get to the back.
yeah. So this was before I had my kayak, and I put that in. I was like, screw it, it's not that bad. And it wasn't really windy. I was like, whatever. So I'm just kicking, and you got to kick back. You kick and you're going backwards,
Mhm.
right? So I'm sitting in this thing, and I'm kind of looking over my shoulder, going, I'm okay. I'm checking my phone, and I'm looking over my shoulder, and it's I don't know, 1, 2 in the afternoon. Sun's up. It's hot as hell out, right? Sunny as hell. Water's actually surprisingly clear there because there's a nice flow through there.
Mm-hmm.
Through it down to I think it's the Sandy Creek it flows into. But I'm kicking along, and I happen to look down to it's really deep there actually too. It's 20 foot deep in the middle of that. I just happened to like look back like where I'm kicking, and I'm not like kicking hard or anything. I'm like just under the water. And dude, there's like a probably 13, 14 pound snapping turtle just swimming up. And in hindsight, I realized he was just like, he heard the motion at the top because I was kicking nice and slow and steady. And he was like, just coming to check. But I was like, holy shit. Like I flip out. Right? I'm like, holy fuck. Because this thing was like 3 feet from me. I'm like, oh, and he's coming like straight at me. And I'm like, holy shit. And I like fucking flip out for a minute. And he flips out he's like, fuck, and he's gone. And I'm like, what the fuck am I
He was
doing?
coming after your Tootsies, kid.
Oh yeah. He was coming up to check it out. You know, he like booked out. I was like, oh my God. Actually, last year, I don't know if I told you this. I finally had a close encounter with a snake up there, big water snake. There's like I was under 79 again, and there's like a retaining wall, and it's like this corrugated steel wall, like down, and it's like, I don't know, from like where the water level is, like maybe like 6 foot up, like eye level with me. And I was fishing down on it, and I was kind of drifting like kind of close to it, and I was casting back in this corner, and I'm like, oh, let me just push off this. So I like had my fishing pole in one hand, I cast my frog out, and I took my offhand up on the wall, and I went to just grab it to push off, and there was a freaking big brown water snake up there, like on the thing, just sunning itself. And I grabbed that motherfucker. As soon as I put my hand, I went, "What the fuck?" Because it flipped, dude. It was probably 5 foot long. It was huge.
Yeah,
it flipped out, and I'm like, what? And I'm standing in my kayak. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, it flipped the fuck out, and I was like, oh my God. But that's the only snake I've seen up there.
Huh.
That was literally the only snake I've seen.
I've never seen one up there either. Don't they say that bridge or some of those pillars are just free floating because they never found solid ground in that marsh?
I've heard that from a few people. I've never
Yeah.
heard anything to confirm it, but I've heard it from enough people that I probably believe it.
Yeah.
You talk to any of the old heads, they say that place is full of freaking quicksand, man.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I definitely believe it.
Yeah.
Sketch.
Yeah. Little sketch.
Oh yeah, you don't want to fall out there.
No.
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 Even the channels back where we fish, it's like a lot deeper than you think it
Yeah.
Be in a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had some moments.
I'll take the tube. Give me the tube, baby.
Oh, I don't want the tube.
Now this year it's been I was up there twice this year. The water's been a little cold, man. Those fish are both are real temperamental up there, man. They don't get weird till it gets hot out.
Yeah. You ever go up to Horseshoe Pond, fish for the bowfin?
No, I've heard they're up there, and I've actually heard in the last like 2 years a lot of people catching sneaky ones in Pymatuming.
I could see
ironically
that.
enough.
I could see that.
Big ones. I've seen the actual evidence of it. So I mean, they're definitely there. I'm pretty sure I found where they're at too.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I know last year you were kind of like maybe in there.
Just I've never caught anything. And I mean, the whole thing that brought around the whole bowfin fishing thing, was it 2 years ago? 3 years ago? 3 years ago now.
That sounds right.
I was just on this like quest to like check off every freshwater species in Pennsylvania. Right. So this was like the next one on my list. And I was like, okay. So I did the research, whatever, got up there, and they hit so violently and so crazy that it, like, it's that's what it is immediately, because they will hit it. Like I use big spinner baits for all of them, and even with the frog, I do the same stupid thing.
Oh yeah,
they hit it, they'll miss it, and come back immediately. Like they hit it so fast, they just like bulldoze it, send your shit sideways, and then come back a minute later, and then they'll grab it once it's like all like, topsy turvy in the water. So it's like, as soon as they hit it like that, that's what it is. There's not a question in your mind. That's what it is. And I had a couple run-ins, just the way they act, like they nose up for air and stuff. They do like crazy shit.
Yeah.
They're doing it at Pymatuming. I'm like, dude, that's got to be what it is there.
Have you ever seen that video, that dumbass over the glass, and he's trying to feed that big giant fish with something in his mouth, and the fish comes up and hits him and knocks him out, and he falls into the tank?
Pretty sure
unconscious.
Arapaima.
Yeah, it's an Arapaima.
That's what reminds me of the way bowfin hit your lures. Yeah. Like that fish, that violently, the way they come up and just like, they basically strike to kill the thing that they want to get first, and then they come in and try to eat it.
Did you ever watch the episode of River Monsters, Jeremy Wade with the Arapaima?
That's all he catches is Arapaima.
He gets that one that just like, he gets in that tank with him. Or it's not like a tank, it's like a big pool where those guys are like keeping them because they're
they go airborne, dude.
Dude, that one comes in and just like breaks his ribs.
Yeah. He caught that whole new species. The last episode was like that 3-parter where he like, made the canoes out of the logs and like went up river in the Amazon, like, and he got to this like crazy pool.
Wild.
Yeah,
that
super
dude's
wild.
nuts.
Yeah.
No, but I mean the arapaima are like ancient fish.
Yeah.
Bowfin are they're dinosaurs, dude. They're ancient. They're not snakeheads either. See, a lot of people are like there's snakeheads up in Conneaut, and no, they're not. They're bowfin. They're
They
completely
look
different.
remarkably similar, except for the pattern on them and everything.
There's
like
a few
shape
things,
and like.
Fins are different. Colors different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their head's different.
I could see why people mistake.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you see a long fish with those weird fins. I could see why people are snakeheads.
Yeah.
But they're not. They are not the same. So.
No, I've seen snakeheads. They're way different.
Yeah.
Cool fish. So
yeah,
that's another fish. We got to take a trip and just go fish for them top water.
I've heard it's nasty, dude. Those
I've
canals
heard
down in Florida.
Well, not even Florida, just Maryland.
Maryland, yeah.
Baltimore.
I've only ever seen them fishing for them in Florida. It just looks wild.
Yeah, it would be the same. It'd be the same. But
this one kid that I'm buddies with from years ago, he fishes. I think that's what it is. But he was out in Maryland just a couple weeks ago, and he was catching them practice fishing out there, dude. Hammers. Yeah,
they get some big,
crazy
good
hammers.
Eating too, from what I understand.
Dude, phenomenal eating.
Yeah,
I can vouch for that. They are the coolest fish. Like their meat is real solid. It's not flaky at all. Like it's solid, like a steak, like
a swordfish.
Like a swordfish.
Yeah,
very much like a swordfish.
Interesting
and absolutely delicious.
I've heard mixed things about the bowfin. I also, whenever I was doing research on these things, the PA Game Commission recommends you release them immediately.
Bowfin,
really?
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a problem in the Conneaut Marsh because there's 1,000 of them. There's a million of them, but like I think most waterways they say to like release them immediately.
They're a native fish, right?
They are, yeah.
The bowfin is a native Pennsylvania native fish.
Yeah, there's a couple different like subspecies of them because like down south they get spots on them like the on the back, and they kind of like come to more of like a taper with their tail. Yeah, they're kind of wild down south, but
yeah, they don't call them mudfish down there, and they don't eat them at all. They hate them. They say they're disgusting.
A couple people I saw that ate them were from down south, and one dude was like making fish cakes out of them or something like that.
Okay.
Well, I think I've actually heard that's a good thing to do with them because it's like, you're just gonna throw it in with a bunch of different ingredients.
Is your curiosity like peaked through it? Like when you've been catching them, are you thinking like maybe one of these days you're gonna keep one and try it?
Oh, for sure. I grew up. I was spoiled growing up. I grew up, and that's actually where I just came from. I grew up on a 5-acre pond. That was full bass, full bluegill, full crappie, and that's what we did. Like my grandpa would be like, "Hey, if you catch enough, we'll eat them tonight," and we would go out, and whatever we caught, we would eat. You know what I mean? That's what I grew up eating bass. Mm-hmm. People look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, dude,
I've eaten bass many times, man.
You just got to take out that middle, that lateral line, that dark line, and they're fine.
You catch and release in the grease. I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna tell me the difference between just about anything.
Hell no, I've cooked plenty of bass. I'm like, oh, is this good walleye? And I'm like, yeah, that's good walleye,
buddy. It's the same as whenever you like take your time and clean up a hind quarter and like, it's backstrap. People are like, oh, this is delicious. Shut up, you dumbass.
Yeah, I got
dude. I can if you get that round out of the back hind quarter.
Oh yeah, the rump roast.
Nobody is gonna tell you any different.
No.
Yeah,
I just put some in the fridge and marinate. It's rear quarter.
You don't even have to marinate it, man. It's so good the way it is.
I do like to give it a little marinade,
a little zesty zest.
Yeah,
a little zesty zest.
But yeah, man. I mean, I'm sure if we took some and filleted them, it would probably taste really good.
Great. Yeah,
you're probably not wrong. A lot of people have said a lot of things don't taste good. I've had them, and it's like it all depends on anything else, right? Who's preparing it?
Yeah.
Do they know what the hell they're doing?
Yeah. The thing I've noticed over the years, especially with deer, the longer you take cleaning it up, whenever you're cubing, quartering, doing all your shit, the better it's going to be.
Absolutely,
100%.
You can tell when you go to someone's house and you take a bite and you're like, ooh, like immediately you're like, ooh, you're like. There's a difference, and I could see how like if there was that fringe person that doesn't necessarily hunt but isn't against eating meat and is like into that whole thing. If you give them a shitty piece of meat, you're gonna ruin it immediately right off the rip for them. So like I get that people that say like it tastes like whatever, it's gamey, it's whatever. Try it from someone that actually knows what the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like the big misconception is too though, like even like my grandparents when I was growing up, like they made deer meat. I ate it. It was still good, but all of those old heads, man, they cook the living piss out of everything, man. And it gets that real livery flavor, and it's just drier than hell. And you just, Yeah, it's not the way that stuff's supposed to be made.
No,
but
not at all. It's lean meat to begin
It's
with.
lean
Period.
meat, man,
Any
yeah.
wild game you get is going to be lean. Period.
Yeah.
with the exception of like pigs or whatever. But even still, they're leaner than a domestic.
Oh,
pig.
for
Oh,
sure.
for sure. Yeah.
For sure. It's
Those aren't around here. So.
no, thankfully, but also kind of selfishly kind of want some pigs.
They're West
Closer.
Virginia, aren't they? I think they're working their way up that way.
I don't think they're that high. I think,
think
last
they
I
are,
heard
man.
maybe Kentucky.
They say
Yeah.
that there's some Pennsylvania too, so I don't know.
I've
They're
heard
shooting
that
on
too,
site in
like-
Pennsylvania, man.
Central north. I've heard
Mhm.
that actually. Weirdly, not the middle of the state, but northern. Yeah, I've heard that too.
I don't know.
Supposedly, yeah.
I don't know anything about that. There's
I-
also mountain lions here, so I mean, I don't
read
know.
your book.
I'm going to
There's
be
a
honest.
shoot on site clause for wild boars in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there is definitely a thing in there about it
Yeah.
illicitly.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's been people that have purposely or accidentally have released pigs into the wild, and
Well,
it
they go
doesn't take
feral,
long
man.
for them to get feral.
No, not at all.
They
Not
go
at all.
feral.
Actually, right down at the bike trail here, there was legit feral pigs there.
See, they're in our area.
A
There
few
you go.
years back, my dad used to walk the bike trail all the time, and he said they would just have the entire thing all destroyed, just rooted it
Yeah.
all out, the whole bike trail, and they'd just be running all through those woods. But they ain't there no more.
LOL.
Yeah.
LOL.
I'm guessing between the farmer that had them getting loose down there and
Uncle
people
Jimmy's
complaining.
380.
Yeah. Yep. They took care of those pigs. So
For sure.
Yeah.
you won't find any more, unfortunately. Sorry. But it would be fun. That's still a trip I would like to do. Just get
That's one
out
thing I've
south.
never shot a pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me neither. I never shot a pig, never shot a bear.
I have no
shot a
desire.
bear
I have
either.
no desire to shoot a bear though. If we're being
I have
completely honest, I have no desire to shoot a bear.
I have a very minimal desire to shoot a bear.
The state of Pennsylvania has made me get to that point though. If we're being
Well,
completely honest,
And that's fair because they've completely destroyed our seasons.
Our bear
That
hunting
too.
culture is a little.
it's the same thing. Like I tell people, like you're either an archery hunter or you're a duck hunter. You're either a bear hunter or you're not. Like the dudes that go up there for rifle season for bear, that's what they go up there for, man. That's it. This is their weekend. That's their opening. Weekend of rifle.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hate on them for it. If that's what
Not
they
at
like to
all.
do, go for it, man.
Not even a little bit.
I
Nope.
just think if we had the opportunity where you could actually like go and glass and make a stock on a bear, I think it would be a lot different. I would maybe pursue one at that point.
I don't like how involved the game commission is in the whole process. I
There's
disagree
a
with it.
lot.
I disagree with it on a biblical level, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like killing an elk.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Not that crazy, but it's close. Like,
Yeah.
And I don't mind the check-in weigh-in station and stuff. That's cool. Like, that is cool. But there's a lot involved with bear.
If I shoot that bear, say in archery season, the one year I bought a tag, I was like, you know what? I'm in the bear area. I'm going to buy a tag. And if
Yeah.
one walks by, whatever, LOL.
Call that a barrier.
Exactly. But I'm like, thinking about it the whole time. I'm like, dude, I'm a mile and a half back here in bad terrain.
Mm-hmm.
If I shoot this thing, it goes over that other hill right there. Guess what? You can't quarter that thing
Not
out and
allowed to
pack it out.
quarter it. You got to get that bad
Yeah.
boy out
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah. So like, fuck
I-
that.
I do know of special situations where they got permission from the game commission.
Yeah, but
to
you-
There's
quarter.
an
but again-
obscenely large bear.
There's also an 800-pound bear.
But that's another thing. You got to go find cell service, call these
Yeah.
dipshits, be on hold for X amount of time till you get someone that's like, you want to do what?
Yeah. Well, where are the weigh stations during archery season? Are there any open even?
Yeah, they're the
There's
same
gotta be.
places. But that's
Yeah.
another thing too. You get this thing out of the woods. Well, guess what? You got 24 hours to drive it, maybe an hour,
Yeah. could
hour
be.
plus to go have some guy freaking grill you on a polygraph like you're freaking, a war criminal.
If you shot one here, where are you going to take it? Probably
I have no idea.
I have no
up
idea.
around Hunter Station somewhere.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh,
Franklin
my.
probably.
That's not even worth it.
That's
Is
what I'm
there one in
saying.
Franklin?
You don't think they
I
have
don't
one
know.
in Mercer?
Oil City probably.
Oil City.
Franklin.
There's that big
one
one
in
in
Franklin's
Franklin.
the main one. Yeah.
There's the big one in
but
Franklin.
even still, though,
I bet you could take it there.
Yeah.
what are you going to
That's
shoot
a
around here?
drive.
A 200-300 pound bear, maybe
Maybe.
around here, and you're going to drive it that far to
Yeah.
have some guy treat you like a piece of shit
And if
for
it's archery
45
season,
minutes.
It's in the sun all
Right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
Bad.
doing?
That'd be
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
news.
No. The bear's good, but it ain't that good, man. Let's be honest.
I like bear. I've had it several times.
I like
but
bear too.
I don't. Here's the thing.
I
If
like somebody
shoot a
else's bear.
Yeah,
I like-
absolutely.
Bingo.
I like someone else's
Absolutely.
bear better than my own bear.
Yeah, I'll take it all day. But at the same time, like, I've never been to your house, but I've been to your house. You've been to my house. Where in the holy hell are you going to put a bear in your house?
Exactly.
I would get a rug.
Here's another thing too, and I don't know if I've ever told you this story. Me and Jeff had this problem. There's a guy I work with. I'm not going to say his name. He was big into bear hunting. He got one in muzzleloader season, and he told me, he said, I have no interest in eating this, but I want to make another carpet. Do you want the meat? I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He goes, all right. If I get one, I take it to this guy. It's $125. He quarters it. That's it. It's perfect. Perfect, man. Let me know, right? Called Jeff. I said, hey, do you want to go halves on this? If we get the meat, it's ours, right? He goes, yeah, absolutely. Jeff worked with me at the time, so we all knew the guy. He shoots a bear muzzleloader. Calls me up. Hey, I just weighed it up. Come pick it up at my house. So on the way to work, grab it. He has it in the fridge. Throw it in my truck. Go over to Jeff's house. Cut it up. Bag it up. Everything's in the freezer. We're good to go, right? The next day, I get a call from him. Dude, the game commission is asking about blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Do you still have the bear? No. Right? Right? He goes, well, do you have the carcass? I'm like, it's in the dumpster, dude. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
oh my.
I'm like, what happened? And he's like, someone found a bear. So at this point in the season, there was only 2 people in Lawrence County that shot a bear at this point in the season.
Right.
He was one of them.
Huh.
And they found a bear carcass that wasn't checked in, wasn't tagged anything on this game lands in Newcastle in Lawrence County.
No shit.
Oh,
So
no.
they track this dude. They track down my buddy at work and this other guy. And they're like, we just need to see the carcass to prove that it wasn't you. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Who would tag a bear and then leave the body?
That's what I mean. I
on
go, dude,
game
you
lands?
took it to a fucking check-in station. What's the problem?
Right.
Right? He goes, they need to see the carcass. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Wanton waste laws, probably.
Something insane. But I'm like, dude, are you serious? So the game commission's calling me now, who had nothing to do with the hunt, to track down this carcass. And I'm like,
I'll show you the meat in the freezer.
I was like, dude, like, I don't know what you want me to fucking tell you or whatever. So we dig the garbage bags out and it's just the bones and shit. And I was like, here you go, man. Like, whatever. He's like, all right, man, have a nice day. And I'm like, this is the dumbest shit ever. And this is why I have beef with the game commission and bear hunting in general. But I'm like, you got to be kidding me, dude. Like, he checked it in at the station. What's the problem? What's the fucking problem?
I've never killed one, so I don't know what it entails going through the process of the bear check-in and all that good stuff. I assume you just take it to a check-in station and that'd be the end of it.
They weigh it, they check the teeth, do whatever.
Right. Do what they got to do. Their
treat you like
stuff.
treat you like a freaking Afghani freaking criminal on 9/11. Same.
Unreal, man.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it, but
the bear subject's touchy for me.
I haven't bought a
subject.
I haven't bought a bear permit in like the last 2 years. I bought them like once or twice.
I buy one when my brother-in-law's like, hey, let's go bear hunting.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen very often.
Maybe I'll go.
And
this year.
I'll go one day. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I did it that one year. I knew I was going to be hunting up the camp a lot, which I did. And I was like, maybe I'll shoot a bear this year. And then literally the whole time I was up in the tree stand, I was like, dude, a bear wasn't it. I'm not going to shoot. Why did I do that? Why did I spend, what is it, $15 or whatever?
Whatever.
More than
Yeah.
that, I'm pretty sure, ain't it?
Is it not? Whatever it is. But
$26.
I thought it was like close to 30, but I could be wrong.
I'm like,
I feel like everything's close to 30. Bonus tag,
pheasant stamp
to
is
30.
freaking
pheasant
close to 30.
Another touchy subject.
Fishing license now close to 30. You got your
Fit 30 for the
bonus. Yeah,
you get the combo.
Wow,
with everything?
I'm talking just the license. I think we just looked up was $27 or something, $28.
Man.
And then your bonus turkey tag, $30-some. Like the freaking snake permit I had the other.
If I'm on a tangent right now, you got me bitching about the game commission. let me bitch about the fish and boat commission too, because this is another thing that I think is a fucking joke.
Rattlesnake season.
That is a joke, but
I disagree. I like rattlesnake season.
No, the season itself, buying the tag and all that other stuff. Fuck off. Whatever.
Yeah.
The trout stamp. Shove that up your ass.
I haven't bought the trout stamp in, well, technically I did have it because my brother bought me a
50% of the bodies of water that I
year.
fish, I have not fished for a trout in 15 years.
Yeah.
Guess what? You want to fish that waterway?
You need a trout
Guess
stamp.
what? If I'm standing there with my round reel with a 120-pound braid on it and a fucking tandem spinner, guess what? You better have the trout stamp.
Or else. So y'all.
Shove that up your ass.
And it's not cheap
Here's
either.
the thing. You might
it's
snag one, buddy. Foul hook.
Yeah.
It's like it's $15.
Yeah. On top of everything else.
$15
to catch
for a trout stamp.
A non-native species.
Yeah.
That they feed dog food.
It's made
in a
out of
tank.
Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You catch it and these people are like, oh, I'm going to release it, catch and release. Like, dude, it dies 20 seconds later, or it's dead by July.
Did you not see all the dead ones when we were
that actually upset me. That actually really upset me.
Dude, that pond was rank, bro.
Yeah.
There was a raccoon that got a hold of one and like drug it down to that first target we shot. Dude, it was just covered in flies. Just disgusting. It was right beside the freaking target. You guys got me wound up now. I was actually legitimately upset, dude. There was probably 25 dead fish in that pond.
More. I bet there was more.
I'm like, wow.
I'm just guessing that they put a bunch of fish in there and had like a youth day thing there.
For sure. Well, once that water temperature goes up,
and
it was hot that week before, and it was hot that day.
I bet you killed them all that hot week.
Yeah.
Every now and again, very rarely. I've never caught one. I know people that have caught one. You'll get one that survives like through the winter.
Yeah, it's a holdover.
Yeah, and it turns brown.
I got a buddy. Go check out his YouTube channel, Made For It Outdoors.
Ooh.
He's going to be on the podcast here pretty
Shameless
quick.
plug.
Cool. He goes out and he catches wild browns in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Every fucking week.
It's like just a surviving stalking. They get in a deep enough hole and they just kind of like chill out. You'll get one every now and again.
Every condition has to be right. It's got to be that cool spring fed, just like, nice.
And ironically, that's another species on the list I've been meaning to cross off is a native brookie.
There you go.
Because we do have native trout in Pennsylvania.
We do.
Not rainbow trout.
That's our state fish, by the way.
Bingo.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
Yeah. Native.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you for pissing me off.
You're welcome. I mean, everyone's thinking it. You're just saying it.
I ain't scared. You know that.
Yeah.
We've established that early.
I don't think I'll buy the trout stamp ever again.
That's what pisses
I
me
will
off.
when I take my kids and shit like that, but that's about it.
They don't deserve it. Do you? I'm gonna be. This is an honest question.
Look at those Barbie rods over there, bro.
Hell
No.
Those are for catching stalkers
Hell
and
yeah.
bluegills.
Here's an honest question, though. If they are with you and they are fishing and you are not, you have to have the trout
Yes.
stamp.
Yeah, because I'm the one that's
Because you have the
oftentimes
license.
casting the rod and whatnot.
Well, regardless, because you don't need a license. You don't need a fishing license.
They don't need a license.
Yeah, I don't know if you do either. Though.
I'm
Take your kid.
dude, I'm casting.
Pretty sure
and
as a
stuff. I'm-
mentored fish.
No, casting and stuff's okay.
I'm just
as long
being
as you're
safe as
assisting,
hell.
as long as you're assisting the kid in the catch of a fish, you're allowed to cast, you're allowed to reel, you're allowed to do all of that stuff.
Let's put it this way, dude. There's enough freaking hard asses
Oh yeah,
that are out there that I'm not
You
even
better
gonna
have
take,
it.
you know, and
I don't
obviously
want
we're
the-
gonna have it anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah. I thought the read on it was that you didn't need a license if you
I
were
think for-
helping a kid.
I think for hunting, because my grandpa used to take
I'm
me all the
talking
time when I was
fishing.
little, but he wasn't allowed to touch the gun.
Right. Well, again, same thing with that too, though. If they're on that license, they're not allowed to carry their own gun in.
Yeah.
You have to carry the gun in.
Yeah, if you're underage, yes,
Mhm.
or whatever. How
It's that
it fucking
junior.
works.
I don't even know if it's a junior license. I think it's that
Mentored
mentored youth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right about that. You are right about that.
Yeah. But I was just
It has to
looking
be
at
like
the,
unloaded and shit, though. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
because I was looking at the rules for that for fishing with youth, and regardless, you should have your fishing license at the very least. But
I
I was
always
wondering
do
with,
anyway,
with
but-
the trout thing, if you need to have a trout stamp, even though you're not doing any of the fishing, your
Yeah.
kids are.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure they would be cocks about it. Who would
I don't want to even deal with the headache of it.
No,
Well, that's the
especially
thing,
during
too.
like
You'll
those
get
first
the-
couple weeks too, when
I've
they're
been
out there
checked
looking.
too many times,
no,
man.
it ain't
Oh,
worth it.
yeah,
Man.
especially
It ain't
yeah.
worth it.
That's why I just don't even fish trout anymore. It's not worth any. None of it's worth it.
That's what.
I used to love trout season, dude.
But that's what pisses me off the most is a lot of the bodies of water I fish
Mm-hmm.
because they put trout in there.
Like
Guess
I wanted
what?
to go bass fish Bessemer the other day, and I'm like, wait, I can't.
Yep.
I don't have a trout stand.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's a lake. It's a
It's a
state
freaking
lake.
state lake.
Yeah.
And I can't go fish it because I don't have a
Ridiculous.
trout stamp.
It's stupid. So
That's
stupid.
so dumb.
And then they like it's shut down. Like those waterways are legally shut down for however many weeks leading up to the season.
yeah,
you can't fish for
because
nothing,
You can't fish at all.
Yep.
which is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best time to catch bass? The freaking spring.
Which you can't until
But you
trout
can't.
season comes in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So stupid. So
So
stupid.
dumb. Well. It's fishing season. I'll allow this talk.
You better. You better. Turkey's long gone. It's in the rear view
Turkey's
mirror.
long gone.
Come on, man.
I don't even got like that good of a story to tell either.
Don't say it out loud.
You don't have to. We're on here BSing, man.
I mean, I
We
shot
talk about
turkey.
anything.
You did shoot turkey opening day
Shot a turkey the opening day.
with me.
Yeah, redeemed myself.
You redeemed
Me and
yourself.
Chuck almost got in a fist fight under the hemlocks. It was magical.
Actually was a good story, I guess, after you tell it all out.
We going there?
Look, we talking turkey right now? What's happening?
No.
Oh, okay.
Me and Chuck almost got in a fist fight. That was the end of it.
I want to
We'll
hear that.
recap it. You want to
Yeah,
recap
go
the
for
story?
it. Go for it.
Booher and I hunted the first day of the season. Came up my camp, and we decided to go out together. And First spot we went to, there was no turkeys. They weren't gobbling, do nothing. So I said, hey, let's get up and go to the other spot.
Very foggy. Very overcast.
It was horrible.
Super foggy.
Terrible conditions. And we were all fired up waiting for one to get to just strike off, and it didn't happen. So we decided to move to the other side. And we're like, let's go over there, where he killed one years prior. And as we're kind of going over there, we thought we heard one like in the distance. One of them ones that you're like, man, was that a gobble? I don't know. I told him, I said, let's just get closer. We're gonna keep going. We'll get to the top of this hill and we'll call again. And sure enough, this bastard just fires off, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, he's closing.
He was making a move on us pretty quick, and we got down on some trees in a very awkward situation that we had to drop on, like literally on the trail on these big hemlocks and
dead pines. I was on a dead pine tree.
Yeah, and Booher's on the side of the tree, and I'm behind him, and I'm actually like facing the bird, and I'm like, why is he sitting on the side of the tree? Well, because there's like 82 branches that come off in the front of the tree that you can't sit on unless you have holes in your chest. And so he's just kind of posted up there, and
I was tucked in tight there. It wasn't bad. It was not ideal, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
We've definitely done worse.
Yeah, it was dark. We're in dark pine forest, so it wasn't terrible either. And he's kind of nuzzled in, and I'm filming behind him, and I'm watch this bird come right in, man, filmed him all the way to the gun barrel. And I mean, this bird's just like coming in and out of strut, in and out of strut. I mean, you can hear him drumming, spitting, and then all of a sudden he just gobbles at like 45 yards. Like, pow.
Oh, yeah. He was letting it rip.
And like every time I thought he was going to like freak out, he would like keep coming. Right? He would kind of pause for a second. You're like, oh, this is it. This is when he freaks out and runs away. And he would just drop and keep coming. Yep. And I kind of lost myself within the camera watching, through the lens, filming him, trying to keep, my composure. And all of a sudden this bird comes up and he stops and kaboom. And I'm like, oh, and the bird like does this weird thing and then starts to like flop to the right and
like
then
snow plowed for a second.
Yeah. And then like gets up and runs and flies off into the air. And I'm like, oh no. And I was like, dude, this is the third bird in a row. My nephew, Pork Chop, and now Booher. Third bird in a row I've watched. Pork Chops didn't fly away, just kind of walked away. Like, what the hell was that? But the other two flew away. And I'm like, I'm freaking out, dude.
Well, mine didn't immediately fly away, to be fair.
No, I said it did this weird shit, ran, and then flew away. And I'm like...
To be fair, I have never seen it. If you would have been sitting on the same tree as me, you would have been like, what the fuck? I've never seen anything like that before.
Because I missed half the reaction. He went behind the tree that he was on. Obviously, between two of us was Booher. So I didn't see some of the reaction. But I'm watching this bird, and it flies away, and I'm filming it, and my jaws dropped, and I'm like, and Booher runs after it, and he comes walking back.
He flew after it.
Yeah. He takes flight.
America.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, wait, how far was that shot?
The first words out of his mouth to me.
The
first words
We're not there yet.
Out of his mouth to me were, why did you shoot? That was like 60 fucking yards. And I went,
that's not how I said it at all.
I almost like shoved him in the dirt, dude. I was so mad. I was like, you fucking cock. First of all, it was like 30 yards.
From my perspective, where I was sitting, okay, this bird came in a trail, and the trail has like levels to it. Like it goes, like drops off, it tables, and then again. And when I was trying to hit, because again, I was not watching the bird in my eyes. I was watching him through the screen. So I don't know where the bird exactly was standing. But when I pull up my rangefinder and I hit the spot, it's coming up at 54 yards. And I'm like, this motherfucker just took a 50-yard shot. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
On a bird that was walking into his lap. Like, had no clue we were there. And I couldn't figure it out in my mind. And I saw the bird fly away, and I hit it again. I'm like 5 yards behind him. Like, okay, still, it's like 50 yards. So, kind of keep my composure. If you ever watch the film, you might hear me mumble some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might have caught myself too. I don't remember. But I was pretty pissed off because at this point, again, this is the third bird in a row that has flown away, and I don't understand why. So I get up there, and I'm keeping my cool. I'm doing good.
To the folks at home, too, me and Chuck are probably the two most hot-blooded motherfuckers in the whole group, without a doubt. We are the two loosest cannons, without a doubt.
We don't usually get that way, though, when we're together.
No, we don't. We don't. That was Oh, dude, I was about to fucking throw your ass, dude.
So we're standing down there, and I'm like, where was the bird standing? And, because after I was kind of like, dude, why did you shoot? Was that not like I got 52 yards on my rangefinder? He's like, you're fucking high. That bird was not that far. He was like 30 yards. I was like, okay, all I'm telling you is that's what I hit my rangefinder. I'm like, tell me where the bird was standing.
You can clearly see where the fucking leaves were turned
brings me
up
to
and
the spot.
everything.
I'm like, okay. And I pulled the rangefinder. It was like 32 yards or something. I'm like, okay, we're cool. What happened? The next question was, what happened? I don't know. I rolled him. Don't know. All right. I said, well
when he was coming up, he stopped that one last time, and I'm like, all right, I'll let him get a little closer. And he started coming up, and then there's like nothing for him. He's coming right on the trail. There's nothing for him to walk. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, do I stop him with my mouth? And I'm like, dude, he's too close. I'm way too open. I'm like, fuck it, shoot him. He was moving, but he was just walking. And I'm like, fuck it, blast him.
Yeah.
Shot a little low. That cocksucker took every fucking BB from that 3.5 inch number 5. He took every
how he flew
fucking BB
like he did. I mean, it was a tough bird, and
oh yeah, he was a big son of a bitch.
You could kind of tell something wasn't right though. Like when he took off, he was not healthy. I was like, all right, look, we didn't hear him fly any farther. Like
no, we took a knee. We took a knee.
I was like, he went this far. He looked fucked up. You definitely hit him. Let's just spread out. We're gonna walk down this bottom part of the woods. We're just gonna walk down and see what we see.
Well, this motherfucker.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. We make it 30 yards, maybe 30, 40 yards from where I shot. Make it down in there. Yeah. And I see him with his head laid up on a log, and his wings were like out of the side. It looked like he was dead. And then I saw his head like wiggle, and I clicked my safety off, and I went to pull my gun up, and I looked over at Chuck just to make sure he like saw it, like, hey, I see it. And as soon as I was like pulling my gun up, he already had his up. Boom!
Oh yeah.
Chuck goes, you owe me $12, $8.
$8. You owe me $8.
I was like, the fuck I do.
I still haven't gotten those $8.
You won't.
Emotional
Yeah.
damage.
But long story short,
we got the bird. Yeah. I came up. The bird was laying there like fucked up.
No, I would have done the exact same thing in your situation.
When I saw him, first. Booher was still moving, and he was like off to my right, and the bird was right out in front of me, like 18 yards away. Like but he turned his head, and he was looking like his head was up, and he turned it towards me, and I was like, I'm not letting this bird get away, dude. I just boom, gave him the 20 gauge.
That was that.
Dunzo.
Now, when I went to breast that thing out, dude, carnage, dude, terrible.
Front side of them breast, they gone.
Oh yeah, you could visibly see, like, because your BBs are so much smaller, so you could see all 5,000 of mine and all 5,000 of his in that fucking thing, dude. It was terrible, dude. But yeah, we got it.
Yeah. End story is bird down first day.
Good.
By like
7. Yeah.
7 a.m. Bird down.
Me and Chuck don't get to hunt together too often, but when we do, we don't fuck around.
It's a good time.
It's a good time. Even when we want to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, that does happen. So
that was the closest I think we've ever come to like actually fisticuffs.
Even when he makes me climb dead trees in the dead of the night.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was hoping you wouldn't notice. You noticed.
Well, I noticed right away.
That's an old story.
Yeah.
That's actually a really old story.
I want to hear it.
That's one of the first times we ever hunted together.
In archery.
Yeah. For deer. And we went back to game lands that he picked out, which is
the deal was
completely uphill the whole way.
The deal was because I was chasing that big 10 point.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him like 2 days. He's down here. I want to get a little closer.
It's the middle of the rut.
I'm like, here's the deal. You film for me in the morning in my spot, and then we'll go get lunch. I'll film for you in your spot in the afternoon because his spot was a better afternoon spot.
Mm-hmm. And we went in the morning.
So we went to my spot, and I knew the tree was a little sus.
First off, the walk-in was sus. Like
you should know. You should have known better with me at that point.
I had never been there up to that point, and literally the whole way in is just uphill climb. And I'm wearing just my 200 Merino, the black Ovis. This is how far back this was.
I'm pretty sure Onyx says it was like 2.5.
It's far.
It was 2.5, 2 3/4 mile one way.
We get all the way up there, and we're going uphill and uphill and uphill and uphill. And
It's a badass spot,
It was like also one of my first years with the saddle.
Oh yeah.
So I'm still learning. Like probably one of my first 10 climbs with the saddle.
That day made me not want to saddle.
Which
For
I
the
had no
record.
clue. Well, and it's not fair. It was not a fair assessment because I didn't climb the tree the way I would have climbed the tree. I climbed the tree so he would be more comfortable in the climber.
Yeah.
So he was climbing the side that was leaning away from him as I was climbing the side with the tree leaning towards me.
Oh yeah.
Which is not the way it's done. Like that's not, you don't climb the negative side of the tree. You just don't.
Yes. I mean, with either apparatus.
Right. With either. You
Yeah,
you
then
shouldn't.
don't do that.
But that morning we get all the way back and I'm like, dude, we get to this field and he's like, don't worry.
Don't worry.
There's no more uphill from here. We walked another half a mile straight uphill the whole way in. Like it's gradual. It's a gradual hill. Today I bully that hill. It's not a big deal. But then, man, I not knowing what I was getting myself into, that hill kicked my ass. And we just kept going and going.
Me and Jeff.
And going.
If I say it's bad, it's pretty bad. If Jeff says it's bad, you're gonna die.
Yeah. It's
That's
bad.
pretty much the best way to be. If Sabelli says it's bad, it's probably the easiest thing
Yeah,
you've ever
probably.
done. But
He's soft.
you've wiped harder shits than that hill he climbed.
Poor Sabelli.
Yeah.
I had to get
We've
one
put
on.
him through some shit though. We have.
He's
Put him-
learning.
he's literally that meme of the dude on the bike putting the stick in the spokes of the frickin' bicycle. That's him to a T.
I would concur.
He picked us as friends, so that was his first mistake.
He said, "I want to hunt." I said, "Buckle up."
Yeah.
I want to fish. Buckle up.
We sat there that whole morning and I don't think we saw a deer though after all that walking in and
No.
climbing a dead tree.
We got up there and it wasn't even sun up. Chuck's, is the tree fucking dead? I'm like, nah, it's not. It's not. It's
I'm looking
definitely
up.
dead.
I'm like, there's no branches.
I was like,
on
nah,
this
it's not
tree.
dead, dude. It's not dead. And the son's like, Chuck's like, dude, this tree's fucking dead. I'm like, really? Like, no, it's not, man. There's still some leaves up there.
Scumbag. 100% dead tree. And we got two behemoths hanging on either
Like,
side.
nah,
of
it ain't dead. It ain't dead.
Ridiculous.
Unreal,
Climbs all
man.
out. And I look over to my left and there's like this most gorgeous maple you could ever
Right
imagine right there. Like 5 yards from the tree he climbed. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't we climb
Because
that
you didn't have a
tree?
shot on the freaking little path that the buck was on. If you would have seen the 10-point though.
Yeah.
Anywho,
So that's
never
what we
got
did
him.
that day.
Never got
No.
that motherfucker. Got him on video.
Yeah.
He was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
For sure.
I end up
I actually should have shot him with Tanner that one day. Those freaking does screwed us. He was coming in on a rope, dude. And them does came up the other way and just stopped and they just stared at each other.
that's
Terrible, dude. He
heartbreaking.
stopped at like 60 yards. Like,
It's a nice
through, like,
spot back there, honestly, it is.
yeah, Sabelli ruined it, so we're not going
Yeah.
back there anymore.
Yeah. True. That.
Yep.
Yeah. That afternoon, I launched an arrow into a tree branch too,
That was hilarious. We also
Shooting.
got that on film.
shooting at a doe.
Chuck was literally in that tree. This tree
So
was
twisted.
freaking behemoth tree. Like, I could barely get my climb around it. I was on like the last freaking little like snap on my climb.
Giant oak tree.
We're up there and I got the camera and Chuck kept joking because he had this one like weird buck on camera. I was like, if that buck walks up, give me your bow. I'm going to shoot it. Chuck's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then we're like sitting there like, what if that buck really does come up? Because if you don't know what me and Chuck look like, I am 6'5". I have a 32-inch draw. Chuck is a gremlin.
I'm
He's a gremlin.
5'8". Okay. On a good day. 5'8" with a 28-inch draw. Okay. I'm
was
very
like-
average.
I was like, yeah, I can make this shot with that bow. And I'm like, yeah, right.
Never going to happen.
But we're like serious about it. We're like,
Oh, yeah.
we're like,
we
oh
were
yeah,
gonna
if it
let
comes in,
happen.
we're gonna do it. We're gonna get it on camera. It's gonna be hilarious, right?
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. Here come these 3 does, and Chuck's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna shoot this doe."
I didn't want to shoot a doe back there. He did not.
He goes, "I'm gonna do it." It's like getting dark. It's getting close. It's getting close to time.
Sounds like you wanted to do
And
it.
Chuck is doing
For the
his
gram.
best.
All right, here's what happened.
He's doing
Let me
his best.
explain. Because
His best Mike Myers impression of when he was playing Fat Bastard and he jumps over the saunas and the wire breaks and he's just like spinning there.
Yeah.
That's what Chuck was doing in this tree saddle. And he's like, get this way. And then he like does like a 360 around the other side.
So-
And he's like, looks like he's posing. He's like, this is new boot goofing up in a tree, right? And I'm like, dude, it's right there. Just shoot the damn deer, right? So finally he gets like spun around and he's like facing like tits away from the tree, drawn back. And I'm like, there's no way this is going to work, right? Shoots, crushes this tree limb,
just
crushes this tree limb. And I'm just laughing. I'm
I
just
think I was
fucking
on track.
laughing.
the problem is this deer came to my 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So I got completely turned around to my left, opened up.
He's pirouetting at this point.
And I'm ready to shoot this deer. Like I'm in a perfect position to shoot
Fifth
this
position.
Deer. It's a button buck. And I see it's a button buck. And I'm like, fuck, it's a button buck. I'm not going to shoot him. And I'm kind of trying to tell that to Booher, but I'm at this point again, remember, negative side of the tree. I'm all the way at the end of my tether, turned completely away, as far away from the trees you can think. Well, the mama does it at 2 o'clock. She's in the worst position. Your weak side shot, the worst place you could possibly be, especially on that side of the tree.
So this is when Chuck goes double pits to Chesty.
I'm like, Booher, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I don't know how to get on this deer. Like, I'm stuck.
This is the most unathletic 5 minutes
like, what
ever.
are you talking about? I'm like, I can't because the freaking gravity's pulling me away from the tree. Like, the lean of the tree is towards me. I can't get around the whole way. And I'm too far from the tree with my tether strap. And I'm like, I can't do it. Well, finally, I end up just twisting the other way around and going up over my bridge. And like, I had to kind of like squat.
I thought for sure at one point you were going to fall out of that thing.
Which isn't possible, thank God, because I would have if I had a chance.
Yes.
But yeah, I was trying to like crouch down offhand over my bridge and shoot this thing. And my arrow is just like, and it hits a tree. And you watch like the red nocturnal just fly.
I think you hear me be like,
yeah,
because like the deer stopped. The deer stopped. Actually, I thought you were going to shoot again.
I was going to try.
So I was like trying to keep it together.
Yeah,
that's why I was like,
she wouldn't give me a shot. It was a big mama doe. I'm glad I didn't kill her because we were way back in there on that one too.
That was funny shit.
Big mama.
I don't think we ever talked about that on anything ever.
Probably
that story.
not.
That's a funny story.
It's good.
I really wanted to shoot that little one in a bad way until I saw it was a button buck, and I was like, I can't shoot one of my future bucks. Like I just couldn't,
no, for sure.
You know, but that would have been ideal. I mean, he was at like 15 yards.
Oh yeah, dude.
Perfect broadside.
He wouldn't
no
leave
clue.
either.
Yeah.
Too. He just kept. Remember, he would go and he would walk back
because he was waiting for Mom. He was like, Mom, what are you doing? Get out here.
Hey, these dudes are over here.
Yeah, these guys are up in this tree. It's not a big deal. They didn't shoot me.
It's hilarious, man. That was a funny story. I gotta dig that clip out. Let's gotta see the
I need to see it.
Of all the deer to come through, like those are the ones that come through. A mom and a button buck. Like go figure.
Yep.
You know.
Those are the first deer we saw all day, so we were
jazzed.
worried about that. You know what I mean? It don't matter.
At that point, I was like, dude,
that fucker could have had spots, and we would have been fired up.
Camera was on. I'm like, this is happening. 100%. We're getting this done. And
candy bars. Oh yeah. We were drooling.
Yeah,
foaming at the mouth.
Just ate a bunch of shrooms.
That only happens.
So I'm gonna need that $90, man. That's not cool, man.
That's not cool, man.
It's hot in here.
It's a wicked day out today, man. It was tough on the water today.
You want to crack these? It's not blowing up. It's not
I think we can open them back up.
You probably could. Anyways. So.
I don't know if there's any other good ones that never saw the light of day.
I'm liking these like
throwbacks. We haven't had a throwback night.
Long lost stories.
When was the first time you ever hunted together?
That's
a good question.
This is a good question.
I don't know. What season? Was it a small game?
No, was it? Did we go turkey hunting? Because was that the year that we actually went to Austin's uncle's? Remember that? And that we saw that bird fly across the street. Was that the first time we hunted together?
I don't think that was the first time we hunted together.
I can't remember now.
No.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we went to Uncle Tom's to see if there was anything.
Yeah, we were driving down. What road is that?
I'm not going to tell you.
No, it's good. Never mind. Sorry. I've had a little.
We
rookie
stopped at
error.
Uncle Tom's. We're sitting in the car, and he comes out like, "What's going on, guys?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. We were just driving around, checking for turkeys and whatnot." He's like, well, "Why don't you go back there and call a little bit?" I'm like,
that's Uncle Tom, man.
I was like, "Nah, we're good, man." He's like, "No, go back there and call." And he was like freaking pushing us back into the woods. I was like, "We're good." We went like 50 yards into the woods.
We both sit on the same.
We sat on this big tree. My hat's still on that tree. Actually, I left my
Is
hat.
it really?
Yeah, I took my hat off during that story. That's actually a great story.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I just took a picture of me and him sitting on this tree, and they flagged it for inappropriate
and blocked
something.
His picture. They removed his picture from Instagram. It's literally a selfie of us sitting
laughing
up against a oak tree.
Laughing. Yeah.
Those are those
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I took my hat off because we thought this hen that was coming in, we thought it was a person back there hunting.
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, that's happened to me back there.
Right. And I'm like, there's got to be, it sounded horrible. We're messing like, let's mess with this dude. Like we start hen fighting. And I'm taking my hat and I'm slapping my leg with it. Like, dude, next thing you know, this pissed off hen comes
Charging.
Oh, yeah.
Like she was pissed.
Charging.
Comes on. Bap, 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 bap. Like, oh shit, it's a real head. We felt like morons.
Oh, it was funny. That's why we were laughing.
That same thing happened to me with Ferletta. We
Back
went
there?
into that area. Yeah, the same exact spot. We were back there, and this head started going off. It sounded terrible, dude.
It's got to be the same one.
And I looked at him, and I was,
Yep.
it had to have been around the same time. And I was
Mhm.
like, dude, that's got to be another hunter. He was like, oh, 100% that's another hunter. We kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Same thing happened. Freaking pissed off. Hen came in. And I was like,
Mhm.
blown away.
I almost
that
guarantee you that was her.
It had to have been.
Yeah.
It had to have been. I've never heard a hen ever sound like that
Yep.
before. I mean, it was like almost like that time we were down West Virginia.
It was
Mr.
like on a
Box called,
cadence.
Man.
It was like on a cadence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to have been the same one.
And like sounded
Terrible.
Terrible.
That
Yeah,
goes to
Uncle-
show, though. Honestly, that goes to show.
Mm-hmm. You don't got to sound
You know, it
good.
can sound great.
It helps.
It does help.
She was looking for love.
Mm-hmm. In all the wrong places.
Yeah, or Amanda beat up on one of the two.
Yeah.
She was coming in hot, boy.
Yeah. Uncle Tom's such a good dude.
He is a good dude.
Cameron Weddington did say it best, though. And so I can't remember exactly how he said it, but it was like something to the effect of like, if your wife sticks her head out the window and says, "Hey, honey, you want to come eat?" Like, yeah, you're going to come in and eat dinner. She goes, "Get your fucking food." Like, you're not going to go in there. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same. I kind of took that to heart.
Yeah.
There's some truth to it.
It stands true. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely been times where you can soft talk them in, and then there's other times where that's what they want. It's like they almost want that bad bitch.
For
Like,
sure.
This bitch talking dirty to me.
For sure, man.
Sweet, sweet lovins.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing, though, too. You get comfortable hunting with someone, then you can rely on someone being the primary caller, but having that second voice there,
Yeah.
game changing, dude.
Mhm.
How many times have me and you freaking boogered one in just because there was a second person there? You know what I mean?
Oh,
How many times have we like pulled rabbits out of our fucking asses doing that shit?
It's definitely a help. It's a huge benefit.
Oh,
Like,
for
hunting by
sure.
yourself is so difficult when you're trying to
For
turkey
sure.
hunt.
For sure.
But yeah, we've I don't know, man. That's probably around the first year we started hunting together. But I don't think
Something like that.
I'm trying to think. Maybe did we ever rifle deer hunt together first time?
No,
No?
I haven't rifle hunted since Nom, dude.
Well, I remember like.
Daddy don't do that no mo.
No, you're right. It wasn't. I'm thinking the rifle season. You went with Jeff that time with the
Actually, that's a
crazy
lie.
Ferrucci's.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
That was the one day I went.
I wasn't there though. I wasn't there.
Go
for that.
figure. Actually, I don't think this was ever talked about on a podcast either. Too.
Oh,
This deer
God.
was a wild story, man. And it was the same shit. Like with my turkey. Are you like kind of like I ain't letting it run away? Same bullshit, dude. Same bullshit. Right off the freaking rip, he was standing 15 yards to my left, and I'm looking the complete opposite direction. And I just turn, and I had a slug gun because I was planning on walking that day. But as soon as I saw it, I just saw this deer with its head down, and it's freaking shit hunched up. I'm like, oh, he definitely hit it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a fucking big deer, and it was like kind of tangled up in some red brush. I was like, dude, this fucker, because I know what's down over the hill, especially the last day of the season. I ain't letting him run down that hill. Boom, drop it right fucking there, right?
That
So we
spot
go.
doesn't even exist anymore, by the way.
I believe it. I believe it. But we walk up. It was Pope and Young. He was fucking huge.
That was a
dude.
really
It was
nice
a
buck.
Fucking, it's hanging on my wall, actually, ironically.
Really?
Yeah, he still never came and got it.
That's so Jeff of Jeff.
Well, he built his house and he was living
Yeah.
in the camper. So, like, I have his brother's deer, actually. I have all kind of shit hanging on my wall there. But, I mean, that one's half mine.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
half
at
mine.
least you put a bullet into it.
I put him in the spot, too. I mean,
Yeah,
counts for something, right?
yeah.
I was really pumped, though, that he got, because that was the first time me and him ever hunted together. And I put
Oh,
him on
really?
130 something inch fucking deer.
Yeah, it was a really nice buck.
Yeah.
Down at the
I mean,
Ferrucci
Ferrucci
property.
technically put shout out to
that's
Ferrucci.
their spot, man.
But like it was, I was
Yeah.
the connect,
Yep.
But yeah, that was the first time me and him ever hunted together.
Yeah,
I
I did not know that was your first time hunting.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Huh?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like, who is this guy? Everyone was like, who the is this guy?
Oh yeah, dude, they were kind of cheesed.
That picture's getting around. I mean, you had all the Ferrucci's there. There was, I think, was Waskin there too that time. Yeah,
he was standing 20 yards to my right. That's what I told him. I said, "Hey man," I go, "That's your deer." Like I knew what the deal was. If I wanted to be a dick, I could have. Because at that point, I really didn't know Jeff that well. I mean, I knew him well enough to invite him with me. Like, we were cool, but like, I'm not going to be that. Like, I'm not that guy.
You worked with him at that time?
Yeah, and I was like, listen, man, that's your deer. I wasn't letting it run away. That's your deer. Put your fucking tag on it. Like don't worry. I know I know what happened. Don't worry.
Yeah, word started getting around. This picture started going. I'm like, nice buck. And like, that guy
so tall.
Got shot in the Ferrucci push. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Who the fuck is this guy?
That's G-Hoff.
That's the mooch, baby. That was the mooch.
Before anybody knew the mooch. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Just snuck in and just bogarted these dudes' deer.
And how funny is it, too? Because we got that one. And then the very next year, we were going out and I said, listen, because the next year was the one we shot the coyote. And then shot that 8-point, the same spot there.
Was it snowing?
It
was late season in the snow, right?
The last day of late season. It's incredible, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, listen, you need to come turkey hunting with me. He's like, I've never been turkey. I'm like, just come turkey hunting with me, dude. I'm telling you. And now he's fucking addicted to it, dude. He's addicted to it, yeah.
I mean, he literally just for the first time fished ever with Booher.
I still can't believe that. I still don't. That dude's.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
His son. I helped his son catch his first fish what was it, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw my post on Instagram. I said, I didn't know. I've known Jeff for a long time. I didn't know he got flowers on Mother's Day, too.
Dude, I had no idea.
Yeah, I was like, because we pulled up to the river. This was Camo Cares 2 weeks ago. So we're up in Tynesta on the Tynesta Creek. And I got off. I took a long weekend, so I got up there the day before. Jeff was coming up that day, too, with his son, Colin. And we were going to float the river after we mowed the grass.
Oh, I've met Colin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, squirrel hunted.
Yeah. He's a terrorist. Yeah.
Yeah, so he came up Thursday night, and we were going to float the river Friday, fuck around and whatever, go to shoot Saturday. So he gets up there Friday. We go down the river, and I'm packing my fishing pole to come with us. And he's like, you're going to go fish? And this, I fish here every year. Like, he goes, you can catch fish here. Like, yeah, what the fuck, dude? What is this? And he's like kind of like shocked. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna catch a fish here. Like, what the fuck do you think I am? What the fuck? You know what I mean? So we're going down and we get like maybe like, I don't know, a few hundred yards down, we get around to like a nice little hole there. And I was literally just talking about, this is actually kind of funny because I never caught a rock bass in the river there. And I was like, yeah, I saw some pretty big rock bass here. First fish I catch, I freaking slammed this rock bass. And he was like, I could tell, like, I've known him long enough that I could tell he was like kind of like shocked I caught a fish. And I'm like, the fuck is your problem? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So Colin's like jacked up. Colin's like, dude, like, he's like a little Tasmanian devil. He's making like noises like coming up. And I was like, yeah, dude, you want to catch a fish? Come on, dude. Like, I don't give a fuck. You ain't going to catch anything nice, like anything too huge in Tynesta. You know what I mean? Especially that time of year. But we're going through like these little holes and I'm like trying to help him like catch one. We finally get down to like this real deep hole over here, and we like park the kayaks in the tube and throw it up on the hill, and we like wade out in this one like deep hole. And I'm helping it because he's never casted a fishing pole before, which is wild to me. Kid's going on 13 years old.
Yeah. And
now I'm like kind of believing Jeff. I'm like, you really haven't caught a fish before. And I'm like, I know his stepdad worked with us, and I was like, he fishes for trout every year. Like, what the fuck? You've never caught a fish. Okay.
Remember the asshole dog, neighbor dog?
Here we are.
Talked about last episode. It's them.
I know it's them.
Double poodle.
They got 3 of them.
The elusive triple poodle.
Nobody triple poodles a double poodle.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp. Oh, there it is.
And they're gone. Oh,
no, they're not.
They're just getting yelled at for barking. It is what it is. So anyways.
So yeah, we get down to this deeper hole, and like I said, Colin's never caught a fish. He doesn't know how to set the hook, doesn't know how to do anything. And we're like fishing for, river smallies on like, finesse gear. Like, he don't, like, it's not the easiest thing to like jump straight into.
Right.
So I'm like trying to help him, and I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm casting it and handing it to him so we can get it like down where it needs to be. And he's like, pulls back like weird. And I knew there was like some grass and stuff up in front of us. I was like, maybe he got a snag. But then I see the rod like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, no. And I'm like holding it back. I'm like, real. And he's like, what? Like, oh, you got a fish? Like, it's a nice. I can tell it's like a pretty nice one. I'm like, no shit. So he gets it up and he's like fucking jacked up, dude. Like he is jacked up. And I pull it out. I'm like, wow. I go, this is a pretty nice fish for this river here. Like, this is one of the bigger ones I've seen, honestly. I'm like, no shit. I'm like, good job, man. So like, he don't even know how to hold it. I'm like, trying to thumb it and you know, whatever. And he's like, there's a picture on my Instagram. It's like really funny actually, because he's got like the freaking broccoli head shit going on now that the kids do now, or whatever. He kept like saying, he goes, don't get my hair wet. Don't get my hair wet. I don't want my broccoli to go away, dog. You know? But yeah, he's holding the fish like all crazy. But yeah, he was so jacked up. So jacked.
Awesome.
So then Jeff being Jeff, he's like, I'm going to catch a fish. I will catch a fish before we get out of this river. Catch a fish. Right. God bless him. He casted forever, right? This is actually a really funny story too. We get down a little further and there's like a swimming hole like way further down. And we're like getting kind of close to there, but there's like a good stretch of fishing through there where I normally fish at down. So we're slamming them down there. I'm slamming them. And I give Jeff the fishing pole. God bless him. He's trying. He's like, I don't know he's like getting pissed. He's like, I don't fucking know, man. He was trying for like a good 45 like hour in this one hole that I know there's fishing. I know there's fishing. He goes, I don't fucking know, man. Here, he hands me a thing. I cast out first cast. And I feel it was like, dunk, dunk. As soon as I pulled back on it, and I looked at him, I said, Jeff, I don't want to alarm you. And I was like, set the hook on him. And he's like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so
Poor Jeff.
Jeff still hasn't caught his first fish. Allegedly.
I can take him to a spot and he can catch 3,000 fish in 12 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, where we were fishing is not the easiest fishing.
No,
for sure. That's kind of my bag though. That targeted finesse. I don't even know if there's a technical finesse. If there's a word for what I like to do, but
sounds good.
Does
it sounds legit?
Yeah. What were you throwing again? That TRD.
It was a TRD hogs, which honestly it kind of looks like a Helgermite.
Yeah,
more or less.
Great for smallies, man.
Yeah, it was like on a. Well, I was using the shrooms heads for a while through there, and then Z-Man came out with the bullets, the TRD bullets, like the finesse, whatever the fuck they're called. They're bullets, but it's like a belly weighted, like offset.
I know exactly.
With like a little bit of like a bullet head to it. I think I was using it through there. It's pretty shallow, honestly, through most of that stretch there. But that's like kind of my go-to for down there. Drew's Craw is the color for there, but yeah, it looks exactly like a Helgermite.
Okay. Drew's Craw.
Drew's Craw.
Yeah, I was using the deal big TRDs for a while there, but they just don't hit as good. Secret sauce through.
There you go.
I like it.
Wizard's secret stash.
Mm-hmm.
Smelly's taking notes so he can use the exact opposite and then bitch when it doesn't work.
And then switch and catch a fish.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sabelli and Booher have been feuding for months now.
Years.
Since turkey season. Yeah, but it's been getting pretty serious.
Really?
Yeah.
He thinks he can talk shit to me.
It's getting fun. It's an outstanding. Like it's like a just a common watching from the outside.
Googly moogly.
Me and Chuck actually had a funny talk during turkey season. Me and Chuck actually have to usually feud because if we're not feuding and we combine our powers, we're too powerful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually I am the one to give him the shit.
Usually me and Chuck are going at it, but for whatever reason, me and him called a truce, and no one's been able to. Like, we've just been like destroying everybody.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we're too powerful.
Seaburn's been getting it. He deserves it.
He needed brought down a few pegs, and I feel like I've been dueling out justice as needed, so to speak, in the group chat.
Yeah.
Were you ever a Dragon Ball Z fan?
Yes.
Yeah, we fusioned.
We did that in the truck the one day, actually. Before we set a Marco Polo.
Oh, that's great.
Actually, speaking of bringing Joe down a few pegs, this is an inside story, but we'll bring you up to speed. He was like on this kick where he's like, I've shot a turkey 15 years or whatever many years in a row. 17 years in a row. Yeah. Well, he got drunk the one night and was on there, and he was just like, that's all he kept saying.
He said it like for an hour straight, every
yelling it. And it was fun. It was funny. So me and Chuck shot that bird opening day. The first thing I was on there, I was like, oh, fuck you, 16 years, baby. And Chuck's like, 16. We're like throwing up like gang signs in the background.
Yeah. I did throw some ganks on him.
And then go figure that motherfucker shoots a double beard banded bird literally 20 minutes later too.
He did too.
It was almost inch and a half spurs.
Oh yeah, it was a beaut.
It was.
That was like a bird,
unbelievable bird,
once in a lifetime bird.
Yeah, for sure. And then doesn't do anything with it at all. Like
most people know, man.
Dude,
you're the only person that keeps something off of every single bird.
Dude, I mean, he kept them, but
yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think it's a respectable thing to do. I don't
Joe's the only person in the group cheaper than you, and that's saying
true.
a lot.
Yeah, like if I'm shooting a double bearded, banded,
that's
inch and a half inch spur type,
like
turkey,
maybe I'm not going to
something.
I'm not going to like fork out for a full mount. That's a little ridiculous. But like I'm going to do something special.
Right.
I'm going to do a little extra zesty.
Look, I got the legs. I got the band. Okay.
Would you eat the fan?
Yeah. Like, okay, were you going to do like a fan mount? You know, something nice. I think those quarter mounts that like Jen's did for my nephew, those are freaking sweet.
Yeah. Those are cool.
Those are pretty.
And they take a lot of room on your wall. Don't get me wrong, but they're still pretty sweet. And that bird was something special.
That's the other thing, though. If I'm doing a full, like, I'm using Kenny as an example. Sorry, Kenny.
Sorry, Ken.
He has his out in his garage. I get it.
I know people like that.
I get it. It's his spot. My dad did the same thing back in the day, but like, you're spending all that money, dude. Like, I want it in there, man. Where
mine's front.
You know what I mean? Where it's not getting, messed up and whatever.
Humidity and everything else.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, no, that's cool because the garage is your spot. I get it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Whatever. But like, if I'm spending all that money, dude, like, and that's
one of my better friends, Bud, has a full mounted turkey.
My man?
No, not
no. Which one's Bud?
Burks. No, Bud. I don't know if you met Bud.
Bud's from Riverside.
Yes,
I know Bud.
Okay,
I know who. I met him. Yes.
Yeah, you probably actually have. Yeah.
We shot Camo Cares, I believe.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yep. That is
with
him.
my man's.
Same year.
Hey, here's to my man's. I'm gonna drink to my man's.
I'll drink to that.
He was the butt of a few jokes.
My man's.
A couple weeks ago. I love him.
Episode 10, maybe. Jason Burks. One of those episodes early on.
Birdman.
That's my man's.
Yeah.
So Bud has a full mount turkey. And I'm pretty sure it's in the attic of his garage.
Oh man.
Because his wife has a bird phobia.
Oh my God.
Okay.
That
what
poor
is that?
soul.
What's that called? There's got to be a crazy name for that.
No, what are birds?
Avian phobia.
Avian phobia. Something like that. Yeah.
Arachnophobia. Yeah, look that up.
I don't know what
Jamie, get on that.
Get on that. Jamie. Fear of birds. Yeah. There you go. Bird phobia. That'll get you.
Like mine doesn't.
Out.
Mine ain't gonna let me put it in the living room.
Yeah.
No.
But like, I have an office. Like I am blessed enough to have enough space. I have my own room in the house. But like, if someone comes over, it's like, hey, you want to come down to my office and look at all this dead shit? It's not like on the wall. It's like, hey, I shot this in 2012, and
you're struggling right now.
Oh
Do I need to look it up on my phone?
I don't know. I might have to do it on mine. I don't know what's happening to me.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Fear of birds.
The fear of birds.
I think it's just my internet right now.
Someone knows.
Yeah,
this.
something's going weird with the internet.
Somebody knows what this is.
All right, everybody's getting their cell phones out right now.
Yep.
Who can get it first?
Look at this. Still not loading. There we go.
Fear of. It's called ornithobia.
Ornithobia.
The fear of birds is called ornithobia.
Okay.
And it's a type of scientific phobia that can cause extreme anxiety and an irrational fear of birds.
Okay.
There it is.
People
heard it here
with
first.
ornithobia may be afraid that birds will attack them, and seeing or hearing birds can cause extreme anxiety.
Treatments like exposure therapy can help gradually
See
overcome
that turkey in the
this fear.
garage?
So
Would
in nature,
help.
They should put that
Would
turkey
Put it right in the living room.
in the living room.
Yeah.
So every time she walks in the room, it just jumps out at her and she freaks out. And
Wow.
Has a seizure.
then- I hope not.
I hope not.
She's a good girl.
I never
They
met her.
got
I'm sure
young
she's a
kids.
nice lady.
Dude,
Yeah,
speaking
Jess
of
is
Camo
awesome.
Cares, $250,000 this year.
How crazy
Are
is
you
that?
kidding me?
$250,000. Best
I-
they've ever done.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Best
Because
they've
that
ever
was
done.
the shittiest turnout.
You thought that, but they said there was 300
300
shooters.
some shooters.
There's
Over 300.
no
That's
way.
not where they make their money.
I
Did you see how banging that was after the shoot?
I understand that. But even still,
Well, they had good weather. Think about it. They had really good weather. There was
Booze this
people
year.
there was booze. There's people all night long that sit there and gamble and party and raise money.
But even still.
You got to think how many people there are just not even shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true too. But dude, last year there
Bananas.
was double.
There was a
There's
pile of
double.
people there
There's at
last
least
year.
double.
See, it
Maybe.
usually sells out, which I was so shocked about.
Yeah.
Like
when we
shooting.
walked up to do like the national anthem and everything, I was like looking around and I was like
Seemed
kind of
like less
disappointed.
people.
Like I was
Yeah.
like a little like upset. I was like, wow, this ain't good.
Numbers don't lie, though, man.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I'm
250,000.
happy. I'm
I
very
am too,
happy.
yeah, it's
I'm
for a
very
great
happy.
cause.
Yeah, but like I can't believe that. That's awesome. though.
$250,000.
That's awesome, man.
Isn't that
that's
wild?
I remember when they were just hitting like 100,000.
100,000, yeah.
Yeah. So to do 250, that's great. Plus, you got to think too. A lot of money that they raise are from these prior events that people put on a fundraiser and they show up there with a check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
So,
fair.
you know, the big
That's
groups,
fair.
Herman Hunters, Aiden's Army,
That's fair.
they show up
That's
with
fair.
a $25,000 check.
Yeah.
Maybe they raised 40,000 this year.
Sponsorship. They had a pile of
Sponsorship.
sponsors.
Yeah,
this year,
did you see the shirt? It was
Yeah.
loaded with
Loaded.
sponsors. So,
I mean, even the Targets I've noticed have been getting like bigger sponsors. Like
Oh, yeah.
Kafaru had one
Oh,
last
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
There was a shit
There
ton.
was a-
Cryptek had one, I believe. There
Yeah,
was
but-
quite a few.
wasn't there a crazy, like, big name one? Like, not a shocky, but
There was
like
a couple of them.
something.
I was surprised.
Loopold, I think,
Yeah.
had one.
Yeah, but there was like a
Loopold's on the
person,
shirt,
too.
like Magpole's on the shirt. Loopold's
Mhm.
on the shirt.
Yeah, they donate
Vortex, all
stuff
them
every
people
year.
are on there.
Yep. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it was.
Nuge.
I
Ted
forgot
Nugent.
about
The
that.
Nuge,
Yep.
dude.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you brought that up, I was like, that's right. Nugent had that thing on the
Sweaty
table
Teddy
giveaway.
babies.
Yeah. He's such a
Teddy.
good dude.
Oh,
too,
he's
though.
the best.
I
Dude.
have his book, man. Kill It and Grill It.
Hell
Yeah.
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 Do you remember his TV show he had?
Spirit of the
Fucking
Wild.
That shit was wild,
Spirit
dude.
of the wild. Yeah, dude. Great.
Shooting
Great.
this fucking zebra.
This is
arrows,
turning
dude.
Uh-huh.
into such a debacle of a fucking episode. I'm glad I could be here for this.
I'm glad you were here, man.
It's all good stuff, dude.
Yeah, we kind of went back in the archives there.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Big time. We
I
haven't-
like it.
It's cool that those have never seen the light of day, though.
I still can't think of what our first hunt was,
I
but it
can't
probably
either.
was a turkey hunt. If I had to guess, I would say it was a turkey hunt.
I remember our first hunt. I've never hunted with you.
We've hunted before.
Have we? Except
think so.
squirrels.
We did that. No, we hunted turkey together, I think.
Did we?
A couple times, yeah. I want to say we were all.
I don't
Terrible
remember.
memory, apparently.
Yeah, we all have terrible memories, apparently.
Shit. Did we hunt first together or with somebody else?
Oh,
Oh, I know what you're talking about
yeah. No, we'll cut it off there.
now.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Yep.
Just hit a random one.
I'm not going to go there. You're right. You are right.
Yeah,
You are right.
That might have been it.
That was it. That was
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I
Yeah.
knew.
I was just mad because I was like,
I got to be honest, guys. I got to let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
It was Chris Brackett.
it was bracket.
It was Brackett.
We were shooting mosquitoes.
Yep. Me and him
With a
got in
longbow.
Indian leg wrestling competition.
I thought I lost Booher as a friend that day. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie to you.
Oh, shit.
That was the third time.
Yeah,
We made it though.
we did.
we
We're
made it.
here.
There's a turkey died that day.
Yeah,
Eventually,
we did.
we're not going to say any more than that.
He did.
Yep.
Austin, when was the first time we hunted together?
We hunted a very specific farm.
Mm.
I shot a doe that you watched.
It was the first time we
It
hunted
was the
together.
first time we hunted together.
Oh, it was the first
Yeah.
time because I put you up in my ladder stand
in your
over
ladder
there
stand over there.
and watched your doe just take a face plow right out in front of me. That
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Well, here's a good question for you guys. What was your favorite time hunting together? What was your favorite story hunting together?
The night that he shot his big 145.
That was my favorite hunt together, but
yeah.
it didn't have much of like a together.
We were hunting the
story.
same property at the same time, but we were texting all night. I had a good encounter, and
Yeah.
then I was texting him. I was like, "Man, it's getting dark. I'm probably gonna get down here pretty quick because I had that counter. I got busted real bad."
Yeah.
And he was like, "All right, I'm gonna get down here in a couple minutes too." And the next thing you know, I just got this call, and he's like,
I love it. I love it.
It's like-
That was my last hunt of the season that year.
yeah,
And
because you were going to
leaving
Illinois.
the next morning to go to Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The very next morning, we were leaving at like 6 a.m. to go to
Yeah.
Illinois. And I was just sitting there, like in my climber, taking it all in. Like, man, this is how the season ended. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
It was cold.
Yeah. And I'm just, like almost in tears that the season's come to an end. And I look up and I just see this freaking giant at the fence. Like, oh. And then, we decided to, go back, sit at the truck. waited out for as long as we could, which I think was all of about 40 minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We had McCoy and Forletta coming, and we were
Yep.
like, bring the waiters. We don't know if he crossed the creek.
Mm-hmm. I was like, dude, I don't know. I didn't hear him go in the water, but I saw this deer on the other side when I was walking out my flashlight with eyes watching me, and it wasn't moving. It was on the other side of the creek.
Yeah.
So I thought it was him, laying there, and I'm like,
Probably some dumbass dough.
It was. Yeah, it wasn't him. That was probably obviously our best hunt together just because of the outcome. But dude, we did some weird, wicked, fun like ground hunts and shit together.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
That were really fun. We have a lot of good stories together. Actually, like a lot of good hunts. But that one is what I thought of first too, just because of the outcome. Obviously,
Yeah.
Shoot my biggest buck ever, and you were there to help me,
Dude, I look over and this deer's there, and Chuck hadn't seen it yet. And I just pointed, and he just stopped. And dude, it was like,
was this the year after the buck cancer hunt?
No,
this was before buck
prior
cancer.
Was it?
to
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is 2017.
Dude, he just fucking froze.
I didn't know what to
And
do.
he's just standing there. And I swear, it was like, I was just standing there watching him. He was just looking at it. And I was like, you gonna go put your hands on it? Or you gonna go check it out? He just he went into he was having a stroke.
Yeah.
He just
Oh my!
I didn't know what to do.
I honestly, dude, I
couldn't believe it was there dead. It was just laying right there. I mean, we tracked it in 30 yards.
It
Maybe.
didn't go that far, man.
No.
That fence took him out.
Yeah.
Hard. Clotheslined him, dude.
Oh, hot wire.
waylaid him.
Dude. He did
Shout
a
out Bruce Stinson.
somersault. Yeah. He got waylaid for sure.
Let me put it this way. That deer hit the fence so hard, I heard the fence. I had no idea what the sound was. It
No
just went,
shit.
pew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
The
dude.
vibration. It came all the way up past me, too, 120 yards away.
No shit.
And he was all the way at the other end of the freaking
The other
walking
end.
out from the
Yeah.
other side of the farm and go down the whole thing, dude. He hit it full bore.
That's
I
sick,
think
dude.
he hit that thing and just went.
Yeah. Because we found him sideways, upside down, backwards.
Big old
Giant gash across his
that
neck.
poor fucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
he hit
he's
it
just
hard.
Dead on his
The
feet.
adrenaline didn't get much further than that. Yeah.
That's literally where we found him. Was in
That's
this
awesome.
giant tall grass. If the grass wasn't so high there, we would have just seen him laying there.
No shit.
Well, it's funny because we went down and I only had my headlamp. I don't even think you had a flashlight. Your flashlight wasn't.
I'm a big light.
Did you have a big light
Because I
at that time?
remember I shined that deer on the other side.
We were shining and that deer was looking at us.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, is that the deer? We're standing here.
That
We're just
same
standing
goofy
here
goober
looking at it.
deer, 45 minutes, an hour later, because the walk-in,
Yeah.
was still sitting in that same spot looking at us from across the creek.
Where
Oh
we
my
were
God.
standing, that deer was probably 12 yards from us, dead. We had
Yeah.
no idea. We're looking at this deer looking at us.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
I was like, let's just keep, because at this point now it's completely frosted over.
Yeah, we're looking at for frosty blood, dude.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
grass, in a cow pasture grass, right?
Oh yeah, and
So low grass.
you can never be too careful at this point too. Obviously, especially with something that big. I get
Yeah.
it.
Right.
I get it.
I had no idea how big this deer was. He was just like, oh, dude, it was a really good one.
Well, I mean, either way,
I looked at him for
buck's
a
a
while.
buck, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was big
Yeah.
enough to shoot an arrow, well,
It was last day,
There's been
last
some toads
minute.
out
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it could have been anything. But
Yeah.
I watched this deer in the binoculars for probably 5 minutes as he paced the fence, and he didn't want to come over. But I had my decoy out in front of me, and he finally just
sneaky.
whoop up and over and come in right to his ass. So I got a really good. I think I shot him at 13 yards or something,
yeah.
right in front of me. He had no
Spitfire.
clue. Yeah, the old Spitfire.
That was
Hell
back
yeah.
in the Spitfire.
When I
days.
drew and I still had my quiver on and my arrows all hit the rest of my armrest of my
Oh my
climber,
God.
Yeah.
and went thump, and that's what made him stop and look up at me. And at that point, I was already on him. I just I was kind of doing one of these, because
Oh,
it was
yeah,
so
for
dark,
sure.
dude. I'm peeking in and out of my peep,
Yep.
I'm on him. I'm pretty sure. Let him have it. I hit him a little bit back, but it was double lung. I mean,
Oh, yeah. He, was
he
toast.
turned, ran through the temporary fence, destroyed that, hit that secondary fence, and I never heard another noise. Now, I should have known, but I was obviously in a very, very different moment that I've ever been in before.
Sure.
The ultimate high adrenaline rush dump, going
Yeah.
on. But I knew he didn't cross. I never heard the crick. He didn't cross the water.
Yeah.
Would have heard unless he completely just jumped it. I never heard him hit water.
Yeah.
And I was telling that to Austin. I was like, I didn't hear him hit the crick. I didn't hear anything. He hit that fence and everything just went dead quiet.
I don't know if it's just me or this happened to you guys. If I'm every deer I've ever shot with a bow, I'm like in the zone and like I shoot it, I watch it run away, and then like there's that moment of like just decompression where everything just like the floodgates open and you're like shaking. You're like, holy shit.
That's happened to me a lot.
Oh
Just
yeah.
like freak out. You know what I mean? Does that happen to you too?
Yeah.
Like
pretty much every
like you're
deer I shoot.
calm, and then all of a sudden you like realize you're not calm, and then you're like, what? Then it, like you just freak out more. Yeah, it's wild.
Every
dude.
deer I've shot with a bow, I've done that.
Dude,
It's
my
wild.
biggest buck I've shot with a bow was 100 yards from where he shot his.
Yeah.
No shit.
And I remember him telling me, I was like, dude, we're getting down. It's starting to, there's big ass storms coming.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, we got to get down. We had that here. And he's like, no, I got a button puck under me right now. Like, let's stay 10 more minutes. Let's just give it 10 more minutes. I was like, dude, there's nothing in this field but cranes right now. He's like, no, 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. This deer came in and I shot it and I hit it far back. And I just freaking melted, dude.
Yep.
I mean, it wasn't a huge buck. It wasn't
It was
by
nice
any
buck.
standards, but I freaking melted. And I called him and I was like, the same way.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you got to come get me out of the tree. I can't get out of the tree.
That's a nice deer, though. Big, heavy, wide.
Just
Yeah. Like massive deer, giant deer.
The only deer I never had that happen to was that 8-point I didn't find a couple years ago.
Is that because your shot you turned to rage, or like
Both.
did you get upset over it? Because I've done that
All of
too,
it.
but like also falling apart and pissed off.
It
Yeah.
wasn't
I've been there.
this deer, this specific deer. I saw it twice before in the area I was hunting, and it was the same place where I was chasing that 10-point the year prior.
Uh-huh.
I was like, maybe he survived. I'm gonna come back here. I really had nothing to go on, and it was Halloween actually.
It's my favorite day to hunt,
yeah.
dude.
And I don't know if this story ever made it on anything either. Now that we're talking about it,
I know it well.
yeah. And I was back there, and I saw this deer. I hunted that whole week. I was like, I'm gonna hunt this whole week here, and then I had that Friday. I took off, and then that Saturday I was gonna hunt it. And I was like, if I don't see anything back here, I'll pivot, figure something out. I saw this deer Wednesday and Friday, same 8-point. And actually the week prior to that, me and Jeff were back there. Me and Jeff saw it, and Jeff actually drew back on it. And it kind of like skiddly dude. He's like, well, it wasn't huge, but it was
a goofy goober though.
Yeah, he was nice. He was
Good
nice.
enough to get you fired up.
I would say he was just over 100 if I was going to guess. And I was like, I really don't have that many days to hunt. So I'm like, I'll tell you what, if this fucker comes back in, I'm going to drill him.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. That morning I was hunting. It was Friday morning, dude. It was like the perfect conditions, like nice, crispy, cold, no wind, some leaves still on the trees, like shit just turning, like I'm in the fucking pocket, dude. I'm like, this is sick, right? As soon as the sun starts coming up, there's duck hunters everywhere on either side of the hill, down on the river, and this other spot. And they're just fucking hammering all morning long. I'm like, so I'm sitting there. Sure as shit, here comes that fucking 8-point right out of the red brush to my left, and he's coming straight at me. I went, oh my god, he's gonna come right in. Like, I'm perfect, dude. Wind's perfect, thermal's perfect, everything. I'm like, okay. Got the release on the bow. I'm standing there. I range the tree he's walking at one more time. It's like 25 yards. I'm like, okay. So I'm just standing there, and he's like just taking his sweet time feeding. I was like, no rush at all, dude. No rush at all. He comes in, and he stops, and he's just eating, and he's perfectly broadside. And I'm just like, one more time. Pull out the rangefinder. He's like, I think he was 20 or 18, 18 yards, something like
somewhere
that.
around 20.
Put it down, go to full draw. I'm standing there. I'm just waiting for him to put his, it would have been his right foot forward one more time. Soon as he goes to put his right foot forward, pow, 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 the duck hunter's just going down there, and he puts his, he's like spooky. I'm like, he takes another step, and I'm like, see you later, pal. As soon as I shoot, dude, that fucker hit the deck, dude. I hit him high. So I watched the arrow. I was like, oh, like immediately. And I just like put my bow down to my side, and I was just like standing there. I was like, you fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like thinking about it. I was like, you didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Like, I held a little low even still at that point. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, dude. Like, you've got to be me. Like, I knew it was a bad shot immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, there's really not much you could do.
No.
I mean, they drop like that, dude.
I was sick to my stomach, dude. But I was just like, there was no like,
you didn't get that rush,
that adrenaline dump. You know what I mean? I was just like, as soon as it happened, I was like, well, you blew it, pal. Good job. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you got nothing else. Like, good job. But yeah, unfortunately, we never did find that deer. We tracked that thing. We had a few people out there come help me. Never found it. And it just like,
man.
Well, that was like my Ohio deer I hit last year, really, really low. And I
was
arrow,
breathing really heavy in this microphone. I'm sorry.
yeah, you're getting into it. I hit that deer like in it. The arrow hit him like sideways. I think I hit some reeds or whatever on the creek bed, and it like went in maybe 2 inches, and it was like low and forward, like brisket. And I'm looking at him. I can't believe you did that. Like I had that deer at 4 steps from my tree at one point. And through everything, I still got a shot off and then blew it.
Yep.
Which, again, I don't think I did anything wrong. I think I just hit something on the way because that arrow literally hit him sideways.
Yeah.
But I don't think I got the dump for that one either. I think I was just purely like rage, confusion, and just sadness.
Yeah.
Just complete sadness.
Yep.
Like,
I vividly remember I didn't even I took like 20 seconds and I just started packing my shit up.
Yeah.
I remember I lowered my bow down. I got out of my stand and I stood there for a second. I remember I called my dad because I was over there with him the day prior, and I was like, yeah, if this fucker comes out, I'm gonna shoot him. And he goes, did you get it? And then me and my dad have a very interesting relationship. He's just like, he's not like a comfort, like, you know what I mean? He's just like, oh. He's like,
you'll get him next time, buddy.
No, there's not even that. He's just like, oh. He goes, all right, I'll talk to you later. You know, I'm like, that's all I needed. I just needed to tell someone I fucked up. You know what I mean? He was like the first person I thought of to call. And he was just like, oh.
My dad's always been good at saying very few words, but making you feel a lot better about things like that. I've gone through a lot of
See, I've had the exact opposite experience with your father.
With mine?
Yeah.
He is my dad.
I can see it.
And he showed up, that tree, this is not hunting related, but that tree I cut down in my backyard, I had that stump I had to grind last year for the fence. He got out.
I warned you about that.
Your dad gets out of the truck, grabs his chainsaw, walks around the corner of my house, and his first words were, oh, so that's the critter, huh?
That's the critter, huh?
No.
Yeah. I had a bad feeling about
that. He goes, what kind of stump grinder are you getting? He goes, ooh.
Speaking of chainsaws, look at the size of that chainsaw bar back there.
What is that to?
Dude, is that a freaking NHL goalie stick?
Dude.
Are you joining
looks
competition to do the...
Bro, that looks
no, I have that to cut that big bastard up in my backyard, man. That's a 48-inch bar.
Bro, that looks like a paddle they have in a fucking frat house.
I know.
Yeah,
that thing is so mean.
How much is a chain for that?
It's expensive. They're expensive.
$1 million.
Dude, that saw
looks like a still at least.
Terrifying. It's a steel.
That's definitely a steel.
Ooh, terrifying.
Yeah.
That's back when they made them in West Germany, when there was a West Germany.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
brother. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
That's crazy.
God.
Yeah, I missed the biggest buck of my life with my dad there. He didn't even know until afterwards. And I just had this look on my face, and he was coming out. We were hunting probably a couple hundred yards apart, but it was just enough play where, I mean, you would be familiar. It's where you shot your coyote.
Okay. Yeah.
So basically, if you're looking at where your coyote died, he was on the right side in that back corner.
Yeah.
And I was on the left side in the back
it's
corner.
spicy down there.
And the deer came out where the coyotes came out. And it came out behind me, and I watched this thing feed forever and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Shoot and miss.
See, that's the worst. When I've noticed when things happen fast, I'm way better. Whenever you have time to look and think about it and admire it, you're fucked.
Yeah. I like to be a little bit surprised by them.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Honestly, I make a better shot. I don't have time to get worked up. If I see them coming from 100 yards away and they're moseying their way in, bro, I fall to pieces.
Kind of the opposite. When I see them from a distance, I just start to kind of play out every little bit, and I get ready and get ready and get ready and get ready. Like my deer I shot this year, crooked tine. I saw that deer making a scrape at 80 yards away. Watched him for 20 minutes before he came in.
Nope.
But all I kept doing was I probably straightened my peep 1,000 times, because that's my thing, right? Straighten the peep, get on, and I'm putting pressure on the string.
Having the little checklist with the bow, you need to have that.
And I just kept
especially
doing
for
it.
someone like the Nervine.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and that in that moment, that's what kind of helps you. But no, you're right. I mean, in that moment,
to help focus,
you need it. And I'm like, okay, my knees are positioned perfectly in the tree here. I'm going to draw back when he gets to that tree, and I'm just going over play by play by play by play over and over and over again in my head, and it worked out. But in that situation, I don't think I did anything wrong other than the fact that I just got caught up in the moment. When the deer walked away from me, I drew back. And when he turned in the field, he was in a wide open field.
Yeah.
I just had it. Back then, I was a 1-pin shooter, 25-yard pin. That's all I had.
Yeah.
Single pin. I put that pin right in the middle of the deer where I always shoot the deer target every single day I practice. And I let it go, and it went perfectly right underneath his armpit. Range found the tree. He was at 35 yards.
Yeah. Yep.
Not 25 yards.
Yep.
With an old Fred Bear SQ-32.
Oh,
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
hell
boy.
yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
And but anyways, my dad, when he came out of the woods, he had no clue like that had happened at all. I was so devastated. I was crushed. It was an absolute giant. And I'm just sitting there, and like I had that look on my face, and he's looking at me like, "What'd you see?" And I couldn't get words. I was just like, he's like, "You got monstered, didn't you?" And I was like,
Your dad got some wild names for shit, dude.
Yeah, he's like, "You got monstered. I can see the look in your face." And I was like, "I've never seen a buck that big in my life. I missed him." He's like,
"Yep,
it happens." You know, like he just says the right things. At the
See,
right
on
time.
the flip side, the first time I ever went hunting ever was with my dad.
Yeah.
And I missed this doe that was running like a scalded fucking dog straight at us at 10 yards. Missed, honest to God, dude. Like the freaking dirt shot up in the cornfield like it was Saving Private Ryan, dude.
Yeah. Or Kenny.
Or Kenny, yeah.
Oh, no.
Poor Ken.
My
man.
dad was so disgusted with me.
Really?
My dad is like the most type A motherfucker. Like,
okay.
Like he was like, you know, Joe Sports and like he was that motherfucker, you know. Like his oldest son just fucking whiffed from the foul line, you know what I mean? And he was just like
completely let him down.
Just disgusted, dude. Right?
Devastated.
You know, like he's got hangers in the garage everywhere, and like he's finally taken his oldest son out, and he just missed his first doe. Like his thing just lost its spots, dude. You know what I mean? And it was just hauling ass right at me, dude. I
think I missed 3 times before I finally shot my first deer.
Yep, I think I missed at least 3 or 4 for sure.
My dad's like,
for sure.
All right, just calm down.
We'll see. What made it worse though was obviously that happened. And like, dude, like he didn't even like talk to me. Like I was like, here's me though. Growing up, I'm the same way. I was fucking pissed, dude.
Well, yeah.
I'm 12 years old. I'm fucking pissed. Like I'm going home to fight my brothers. Like I'm ready to like, I'm pissed, dude. You know, he like cools down and like, you know, there's some deer back in, you know, behind the house. We had some woods behind the house to be able to hunt. He's like, come on, let's go back. I'm like, okay. There's one back there. It's like walking in, got it in the scope. I did it in the scope. I was like, yeah. He's like, you got it? I'm like, yeah. Boom! Not even close. No, not even fucking close, right? And like as soon as I shot, he saw where it hit, and he's like, "The fuck were you looking at?" You know what I mean? Like he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know. So that's like the first like few experiences I had like hunting. And then I went with my drunk ass uncle and my crazy ass grandpa, and then I ended up shooting my first deer with them. And then I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, you know, I get it, but like, you know, like me and my dad are like, we're too much the same. It's kind of crazy, actually. You know.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm not.
Do you need a hug?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
You know how I am.
You need another moth?
Give you a hug. You need another moth.
There's some more. Yeah, why not? Let's dive. There's one right here. There's literally one right here, Chuck. It's a little one, Chuck. You gonna do this one?
No, that's gross.
Scared? Go to church.
I think it's funny too. It's a little bit of a weird correlation. You were talking about that deer that you shot a little high.
Yeah, I shot a lot high.
a lot high. A lot high.
Yeah.
Some of my best hunting spots are duck spots.
Yeah. Where there's water, man.
It's uncanny,
where there's water,
man.
Yeah.
Uncanny.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of duck shooting in some of my favorite spots.
The weird part was though, I'd hunted back there at this point 3 or so years, maybe 4 years, honestly. At that point, yeah, something like that. It was a few years. Never heard him back there ever.
Yeah,
never heard him until that morning. I was like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, are you kidding me?"
I'm trying to think honestly where they would have been.
There's those ponds down over the hill, and then there's
yeah.
that giant swamp back behind me. Those were they were sitting on.
Okay.
There's that huge swamp
way back in
on
there.
the side of the thing.
of the place. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's one spot, and you can use this to your advantage if you may. There's one spot I go to every single year on opening day of pheasant season. Because all the guys are out there lining up when it's dark. You're pulling into your spot, and there's guys lining the roads, and they're going out there with their dogs, and they're hunting pheasants.
Pushing all the deer back to you.
And there's this one pinch that I sit.
Yep.
and deer just flood through
Yeah.
it, dude. I
Yeah.
always see a pile of deer, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A pile of deer.
Yeah. This poor bastard, though, you could tell got shot in a rifle season because every time the shotguns went off, he put his head up.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time.
He knew what was going on.
And I even said in my head, I go, a little spooky. Hold a little low.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
Was his head down when you shot? Do you remember that much detail? I know it's been a few years.
He wasn't texting.
No, he was still eating. His head was down.
His head was down.
Yeah.
They say they duck lower with their head down.
Well, guess what? The thing that like totally threw me off is like the first like, and I mean, dude, once you start tracking something outside 100 yards and you're not getting good blood, it's not like you're like,
That's pretty
No,
devastating.
right. So like,
yeah.
I found my arrow at like, I was over 100 yards when I found my arrow. Right.
Oh, man.
So he kept my arrow that far, and I'm like, well, it was broke off, and I couldn't find the broadhead. I was like, so the broadhead's still in him. I go, okay, maybe there's some hope. I'm like, I'm gonna pull out for a minute. That's when I called Jeff. Jeff showed up, and like, dude, I fucking tracked this motherfucker through some wild shit, dude. You know how hilly it is out there. It's like serious, like up and downs, right? And he like, I could see where he rolled, and there's like a big smear of blood, and I'm like, man, if he got that broadhead in him, dude, this thing got to be tearing him up because it's combat vet too. I hit him with a combat vet, dude. He's got to be getting torn up. There's no way. Like even if I hit him high, there's no way. Right at this point, what the hell? So he crossed like one of the main trails where they like mow, and then he went back down into this like little washout. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop right here. Let me go back to the truck. I'm gonna drop all my shit off, get out. It was like getting hot out too, so I like dropped a couple layers, waited for Jeff. Jeff comes in like I had that look on my face, I'm like, I'm not feeling real good about this, but like let's go look, So we get back there, and dude, I'm not even kidding you. We went maybe another 200 yards, dude. We were like way fucking off from where I shot, and we're still finding blood. We get down in this washout, and dude, there's like puddles, like lung blood puddles. I'm like, no shit. Jeff's like, dude, this deer's dead. Like he's hyping me up, and like Jeff doesn't usually Jeff keeps it pretty real for the most part.
Yeah.
He's like, this deer's dead, and I'm like looking, I go, dude, that's like a big puddle. It's like almost a foot wide puddle. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, maybe I did get this cocksucker. Like, hell yeah. Go up. There's another big puddle. We're like, hell yeah. We go up the top of this hill. Nothing. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So like now we're just starting to do the circle, the little spiral circle. We're like looking around. There's no leaves turned up. There's no nothing turned up. There's not even like a deer trail that like he like was familiar with that he ran down or something. And we just looked for hours. I'm like, there's no way, dude. There's no way. Yeah, that was terrible, dude. We looked back there for hours.
I remember you looked like all day long. Mm-hmm.
And then of
covered
course,
miles and miles.
Dude, I still have the pins on my phone, dude. I think it was like we were pushing 1.5 miles at that point, dude. Yeah. And I think we were somewhere around like the 3/4 mile mark where we found the big puddles. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude? Like I've never seen anything like that before. Never.
Unreal.
Yeah, it was
maybe somebody else shot a deer and they just where it died.
Hopefully. I mean, in a perfect world, he survived, and
yeah, he'd been fine.
LOL. Yeah.
LOL.
But that honestly, dude, that made me sick that year. I didn't hunt the rest of that year. I didn't go out the rest of that year. I was sick, dude. I was totally sick to my stomach about that. I was like upset at myself. It was terrible.
Probably one of the toughest things to bounce back from.
Yeah.
Let's end on a good note, though. Let's take this away from sad.
Yeah.
You got
something?
No.
You want us to come up with a happy?
I was thinking of something.
A happy
story.
I'm still on vacation from work, and we're headed up to fish the river this weekend.
Beautiful.
That'll be good.
With your daughter?
My daughter, yeah, it'll be fun.
Awesome.
She's getting into it, so that makes me happy. She's not. I tried the hunting thing. It's not sticking, but fishing thing, she's into the fishing thing.
Hey, take what you can get, dude.
That's right.
Yeah, we're here, man. And then next week, hopefully, I might actually film a video next week. So
hell yeah,
fishing.
Yeah,
I don't know what else you would film.
Monday's the day, man.
Rattlesnake hunt.
You won't invite me to that, so
we already went.
Like I said,
I told you we were going.
Yeah, it's you and Sam's thing.
You guys gonna fight?
Cares. We might have to roll around.
Later.
I'll record it.
A little tussle.
We'll tussle.
No, I mean Mondays. That's the other thing too, man. Them bowfin, like I said, they're freaking. It's got to be right for them. They're real finicky. You wouldn't think they were, being like predators. Like a pike don't matter. Pike don't care. It'll fucking every day of the week it'll hit. But no, man, I got to be just right for them things. The right time of day. Yeah, they're weird, man. They're weird. You could see it right there in front of you. They'll come up all around your kayak. You'll hear them. coming. That's wild, dude. I told Chuck that, and I don't think you really believed me till we got back in there. You're like,
It was wild. It
but
was
yeah,
like fish in the Amazon or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the swamp up there is like a
It's
different
wild up
country,
there,
man.
man.
Yeah,
It's wild.
It's so beautiful.
It
It's
is.
It really is
so
beautiful. Yeah, when you're up there and the sun's coming up over all that shit, man, it's fucking awesome, dude.
It's like fish in the marsh or something. It's just all
it's a
open,
marsh.
beautiful country. Like
I've become addicted to it up there. I'll be honest with you. I really, truly have become addicted to it.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite thing to do now.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it up Monday afternoon, but if I could, I would try to.
Film a catch, clean cook, dude.
We
Get
might have
one.
to.
Mm.
Might
Eat
have
'em.
to. Maybe not this week, but later in the season. I think I will. If I catch, not a huge one. I do say if I catch one bigger than that one me and you caught that day, I'm gonna get it mounted for sure.
Oh,
that'd
such
be
an
cool.
ugly fish.
They're cool, dude. They're so cool.
They are cool, but they are ugly. They're so ugly.
Face only a mama could love.
Yeah.
I gotta put it up there beside Uncle Bernie's walleye.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a badass
Up
mount.
to camp. That's cool.
It's a badass mount.
It's cool.
That's the biggest walleye I've ever seen.
Oh,
I got him by about an inch and a half. That's a big walleye.
That's a big walleye.
None of my family has ever touched my record 29 and a half.
Oh.
No one's touched it. Palma.
People, maybe folks at home, maybe you heard this. A lot of people I say, I go, he got a citation for that fish. If you catch one big enough and record it like at wherever, like they'll send you a certificate, like a legit
not
citation.
a citation.
It's called a citation.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a citation of
Not
catch
like a-
or whatever.
not like
Yeah, not a
bad
citation.
not like a
like I
ticket.
almost got today.
No. Like that's what people
Forgot
look at
about
me. They're
that.
like, he got in trouble. I'm like, no. It's literally called a fucking citation of catch or whatever it is. Like from he got one from the state of Ohio. I think he got 2 from the state of Ohio actually for walleyes.
That's
He's caught.
weird.
At a mosquito.
It's kinda like-
I've seen it though.
It's kind of
With
like
my own eyes.
Yeah, we have it up framed on the wall at the camp. It's like if you shoot a Pope and Young, like
Yeah,
they used to send
yeah,
you the thing if you
yeah.
like turn it in or
Right,
whatever. You know what I mean?
right.
It's the same fucking thing with a fish. Yeah. But yeah, there's two from Ohio. It's like Ohio Outstanding Catch Citation or something like that.
I can
It's
dig
called.
that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mine was was it Richter's? Richter's. They used to have.
5.0 on the Richter
Dude.
scale.
Isn't that what that place is called?
I have no
up
idea.
by Pymatuning State Park. I think it's Richter's, something like that. It's a little bait and tackle type shop.
Okay.
And the greatest thing.
Thinking of Robinson's?
No, not. It's Richter's.
Okay.
I think it's called Richter's or Rickers. I'm pretty sure it's Richter's.
I don't use live bait,
It's a
so you
T.
got me there.
Yeah. Well, what they used to do.
There wasn't a dig.
I didn't catch mine on live bait either, but
Oh.
they would keep the fucking Polaroids.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And every year they would add to their book. They had
Okay.
a fish book, and they would put in there your name, date, the
Cou-
size
Cougar
of the
Bobs
fish.
used to do that with the turkeys.
Yeah, they would
Yeah.
write them all in, and you'd have your Polaroids, and you could go in there at any given time and go through their book and flip through
That's cool.
all the pictures of the fish. It was really freaking cool back then. So my
Yeah.
picture was in Richter's for the longest time with that fish.
12 and a half
Yeah.
inches.
29 and a
Austin, we
half.
got to go up there and confirm this kill.
You want
I don't
to?
know if it's
Yeah.
still there, dude. That was a long time ago. I bet
They
you I have
probably got a
pictures.
filing cabinet full of them
Dude,
bucks.
if they
We'll just
did, that'd be
flip 'em.
sweet. We could go find it.
That'd be
Archive.
cool,
I was
man.
young, man. I was a kid.
That's awesome.
Confirm.
That was when we used to camp up there all the time. Like we would
Me
catch.
and you were
some
talking about this.
giants.
We need to like rent the cabin up there and do
Yeah.
like the kayak
Mhm.
extravaganza.
I was trying to get up there with Joey Marcello next weekend and
Hey,
do
thanks
a
for the couch by the
little
way.
fishing.
Yeah, we got the
Oh,
couch off.
from-
Remember that?
from his brother,
Small
Brandon.
world. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah.
the couch, brother.
Thanks for the couch.
I'm going to enjoy it tomorrow.
we were planning on maybe doing that, but I don't know if it's gonna work now.
When I talked to him at your diaper party, I don't think it was happening.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of backed
As he
out.
told me, he was like,
it's a shame.
I sent out a text. He's like, nobody answered.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm so sorry,
sad.
man.
It's kind of late in the season to be planning one now.
Yeah, we just wanted to take a trip. He has a camp
Just
up
something
there.
for fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like we were just gonna go. He actually has a camp up where you fish a lot in the northern end.
Okay.
He's got a camp up that side, like up there.
I fish in the southern end,
Well, I know, but the spot where
the west, far
it would
west.
be
West.
Mosquito Lake is where I fish.
yeah, exactly.
I just catch walleye at Mosquito Lake all the
I've never
time.
fished mosquito actually.
Yeah, me
No,
neither.
being a dick. Go,
I know
continue.
what you're saying now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I caught on quick. I go and fish a lot by the ice cream place.
I made it a point though last year to figure out the north, and I fucking hammered them up there last
I know,
year.
a really good spot up
Hammered
north.
them up there. I found some spicy shit up there, boy. In
Yeah.
my adventures.
There's some good fishing up there.
But to be honest with you, the year I went the first day of archery, In the South, I fucking hammered down there. You just got to know where they're at.
Yeah. I mean, I like the South. That's where I grew up fishing, the South.
Yeah.
It's just so much farther to go to the North, dude.
Yeah, it's so much better.
It's another
In the summer, it's
half
a lot
hour
better.
plus
once
drive.
Once that grass
There's also
dies.
an ice cream place up there that you're talking. I don't know if it's the same place you're talking
no,
about.
It's not.
They have peanut butter soft serve.
Or maybe it is the same place.
right on the
actually,
Causeway,
then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, not on the Causeway. No.
on the same road.
I'll tell you where the peanut butter soft serve
I'm
is.
actually talking about the place that's right in Jamestown, the little soft
No, I'm
serve
not talking
place
about
that has
that,
like
no.
the 30-some flavors
No,
soft
this
serve.
is so good.
No, the place right to the east of the Causeway on the same road.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. They got like a little pool, and it's like their 4-bush kind of looking.
I like me some ice cream. So,
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
We know.
listen,
You know.
the best part of that South Dakota trip
The
today
Mount Rushmore.
is the Mount Rushmore ice cream that we got. And you can't deny that.
We got
I had
the-
ice cream at Mount
It was
Rushmore
like
too when I was a
30
kid.
degrees.
and it
we
was
were out
also
there.
$30.
Yeah, well,
You
money
bought
was
it that
not
time.
money was not an issue.
Chuck's
that
like,
time.
I'm getting this fucking.
We're getting ice
You
cream.
want it or
Yeah.
not? I'm like, whatever. Man.
Drove 23 hours at this point. We were
For
both
ice cream.
extremely like just sore throat. Everything's
Terrible.
our bodies are falling apart. Been up for 2 straight days, and it's just like
I'm getting elevation sickness.
I
Altitude
was like,
sickness.
dude, let's just get this
Oh
ice
yeah, dude,
cream,
I was bad shape.
and we're going, and we did.
And then we got to watch that little kid have the meltdown out there.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
If I wasn't tired, I probably would slap.
I was about to get in there. Tag me in, Mom. I'm
He
coming.
was being such a dickhead kid, dude, to his parents and everything.
Just like laid down on the ground, just
Yeah,
screamed.
just being
Oh, no,
Blood.
like that.
yeah.
Like they're hitting. What did he say? Was he saying he's hurting me or something? Like
Yeah,
he's
I
hurt.
think
Yeah,
he's
something
hurting.
was like,
It's like,
come
get
on,
the hell
man.
out of here.
Dude.
Parents can't even parent anymore.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
damn shame.
That's probably the happiest note you can end on right there. Ice cream at Mount Rushmore.
Parents parenting.
Ice cream at Mount Rushmore, yeah.
And trying to beat strangers' kids
I like it.
Nope.
for
I
acting
like
up.
This is the most unhinged episode I've been a part of, my podcast or yours at this point.
This is
I
where they've-
liked it. I was a big fan of
It was
it.
good.
Kind of where they've all been going lately.
It's okay.
Here we are.
Braden, the wizard.
Wow.
Wow.
Mr. Booher,
I've
sir.
First name.
I forgot his name.
Wow.
Mr. Booher, sir. Tell us
Indeed.
where people can find you.
Northern Outcasts Outdoors, baby.
Ooh, buddy.
I'm still there somewhere, hiding in the shadows.
I
All
like it.
social media platforms, and check out the YouTubes.
Check out the YouTubes. You can just look up for my, if you want to see my photography shit, you can look up my personal, Braden Booher. I'm there somewhere.
There you go.
Can't miss it.
I like it.
He's the ugly one.
Bingo. Yeah,
Until
we're gonna
next
fight.
week.
The
Tussle.
distraction is real.
Tussle.